Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan football. My name is Charlie Brigham. Alongside me, Amer Bektas. Today, we are live from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. And folks, let me tell you, already the game hasn't even started yet, and the atmosphere is electric.
You hit the nail right on the head there, Charlie. This atmosphere is electric. Nebraska knows how to throw a party, obviously. The intros into this game was absolutely electric. Makes me want to put the shoulder pads on and go out there for them. But, we got a good matchup tonight. This Nebraska team is not what their record says they are. They're a re-energized team right now that can really cause Michigan some problems. Looking specifically at their quarterback, Adrian Martinez, that dual threat that Michigan really has not faced off this year. So how can Michigan deal with this dual threat quarterback? Can they shut him down? Can they make the tough throws? Michigan this season has only allowed less than 13 points per game. Can they do that on the road in a hostile environment? They're going to have to get out early. We both agree that Michigan on paper is the better team, but just looking around at this crowd, it's a sea of red. There's multiple spots of little dots of maize and blue, but it is a sea of red. The Cornhuskers are ready to go. They're energized. This is a big game. Big game for Scott Frost. Can he make a statement? Can he get that signature win against the Michigan team? And then you look at the other side for Michigan. They're off to a 5-0 start. First time since 2016. Can they continue that? Get another big win in Lincoln, Nebraska, where Jim Harbaugh is making his first appearance as head coach of Michigan.
As you mentioned, Amer, that big storyline, will Michigan be able to handle a dual-threat quarterback like Adrian Martinez? That storyline is going to have to wait, though. The Cornhuskers won the toss, but they've deferred to the second half, so Michigan and the Michigan Wolverines are going to get the ball first and go out on the offensive attack. It's going to be Blake Corum back deep to receive, and boy, I am excited. It should be a good one tonight.
It's going to be a huge possession for Michigan to start out right away. This crowd is absolutely berserk. The crowd was here before we even showed up, and we usually will show up about 2 hours before kickoff. The student section was already halfway packed, but these Cornhuskers are ready. They know how big this game is and how big of a statement it can be.
Yeah, it is going to be an electric night, no matter the outcome. The fans here in Memorial Stadium are getting loud. They're on their feet, and we are set to go.
I'm so ready.
Place kicker Brendan Frank setting himself up. Looks to his left, looks to his right. Hand up in the air, and we are underway in Lincoln, Nebraska. Kick back deep. Caught by Corum at the 2-yard line. He's going to bring it out with a head of steam. Breaks one tackle and gets up, and he's eventually taken down at the 18-yard line. So the Wolverines will go to work inside the 20.
Yeah, and some highlights to kick off this game is looking at that Michigan offensive line. They have been absolutely crucial for the success that they have, starting with their center, Andrew Vastardis, the grad senior, really the anchor of this team, giving Cade McNamara time to drop in the pocket, and Michigan has yet to trail in a game this entire season.
McNamara to start out in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers wide. Hassan Haskins towards his left. McNamara drops back to pass. Those are rifled to Dalen Baldwin, and he's good for a gain of 6.
Yeah, and Michigan, they've taken plenty of hits for, their run team. They don't like to throw the ball, and, we saw it last weekend with how aggressive they were with the play call and being able to open up that playbook. Josh Gaddis and Jim Harbaugh really getting creative.
3 receivers on the far sideline, and we're going to have a flag. Be interesting to see who this is on. Both teams pointing at the other team. And it is going to be on the offense. That one, false start coming on the right tackle, Andrew Struber.
Well, if this crowd needed any more energy, they just got it.
The penalty will set the Wolverines back. It'll be 2nd and 11. McNamara and the Wolverines offense have a ways to go. McNamara sends one man in motion. Handoff to Hassan Haskins. He's got a hole. And he pushes up for a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and right away we see the power running back for Michigan right there come in at Hassan Haskins. And to make it 3rd and 5. Be interesting to see if they don't get the first down here. Does Michigan do the same thing that they did against Wisconsin last week and go for it on 4th down? We're about to find out.
3rd and 5. The crowds are loud here in Lincoln. 3 receivers on the far side. McNamara sends Corum in motion, drops back to pass. Pressure coming, finds an open man, but it's incomplete. That pass intended for Mike Sainristil. Into his hands, he had to lay out for it, couldn't come up with it. So the Cornhuskers force a 3-and-out.
Yeah, really difficult. Would have been a really difficult catch for Sainristil right there. You know, Cade McNamara breaking away from the pocket. He had a lot of pressure on him right there and just gets it away. And Mike Sainristil cannot corral it in, and Michigan goes 3-and-out on their opening possession.
Brad Robbins, the punter for Michigan. Clean snap. The kick is away. Nice punt. Down to the other 20-yard line where it's fair caught. Fair catch made by return man Oliver Martin.
And let me just say, I literally had to take my headset off to see or to hear how loud this crowd was. It's amazing.
The Cornhuskers offense will go to work. Ball starting on the 18-yard line. So we will get to see Adrian Martinez for the first time today. As we said, that dual threat quarterback keys for the Michigan defense is just containment. Martinez is a quarterback who thrives for long plays. The longer plays take to develop, the better and better he gets. Tight set here for Nebraska. Martinez drops back. He's got a man in the flats and plenty of room to run. Breaking down the sidelines across midfield and eventually taking out the opposite 40-yard line. It's Amer Johnson. Nebraska punching first.
How about that, Nebraska? Martinez dropping back in the pocket and just lays it off to Johnson, and Johnson does the rest. Goes into Michigan territory right away.
Huge first play from the Huskers. And now they're going to go to work. 2 receivers split out wide. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. It's Johnson again. But Michigan all over that one. That's going to be a gain of 4.
We mentioned it before. Michigan has yet to trail in a game this season, and right now the way Nebraska's going with it, that might change. But another player to mention is, we've talked about him all season long, is number 97, Aiden Hutchinson. Can he get through this offensive line for the Cornhuskers, which is really fairly inexperienced?
2 receivers on this near side, now 1 sent in motion. Martinez hands it back up the middle, and there's Aiden Hutchinson making the play. That one good for a gain of nothing.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson right there with David Ojabo both on the tackle. You know, those 2 are going to have to be huge for Michigan.
It's a 3rd and 6. Both teams looking to their respective sidelines. Now settling back in. That's the first play we've seen go Aiden Hutchinson's way, and he was all over it. Interested to see what Nebraska does here. 1 man sent in motion. It's going to be a handoff up the middle and taken right down. Christopher Hinton, the linebacker for the Wolverines, coming right in and making a stop in the backfield. That's going to be 4th down.
How about that? Christopher Hinton just coming through that line untouched and meets Amer Johnson in the backfield. Nebraska leaving their offense out on the field. The ball's on the 35. So it looks, I'll be shocked if they snap it.
Martinez back in the gun. He's got 3 receivers out to his right side. Motioning into a trips formation. They are going to get the snap off. Martinez looking down the sideline. He's got a man wide open. And it's caught. That ball down the far sidelines into the hands of Omar Manning. And Nebraska's got a fresh set of downs.
Omar Manning with a great catch right there, getting open on the far side of the field. But Adrian Martinez definitely took a hard hit from Aiden Hutchinson right there. Hutchinson was just half a second late. Otherwise, it's a sack.
Michigan was sending the house there, trying to bring pressure on 4th and 5, but Martinez stayed in the pocket and played that about as perfectly as you could ask him.
Nebraska taking a playbook out of Michigan's script right there, going for it on 4th down to set the tone.
Manning split out far on this near side. It's going to be a handoff to Johnson up the middle again, and he's swallowed up by the Wolverines.
There was a little bit of confusion on that fourth down conversion on the Michigan side right there. You had one of the quarterbacks, I believe it was Vincent Gray, who was out of position and had to sprint over to the other side. But Manning made the catch right there.
We've seen two big plays out of Nebraska so far that have led them all the way down the field from the opposing 18-yard line to now inside the 10, the ball at the 9-yard line. Both of those passing plays. Two men set in motion. Martinez hands it off. He's going to keep it himself on the wide side. Hutchinson chasing him down, and Hutchinson pushes him out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
We mentioned it, we'll mention it again. The dual threat option of Adrian Martinez. That play-action play right there to pull it away and break it out and get all the way down into the Michigan. I believe they're at the 3-yard line.
They will be spotted at the 3-yard line, so it's 3rd and 2. Martinez has receivers split out both ways. On this near side, out wide is Manning. Handoff up again. He's going to keep it himself, and he's met right away. Michigan not fooled on the read option that time.
He ran into a wall of Wolverines at the line of scrimmage.
Josh Ross and Nakai Hill Green, the two Wolverines, in there on the action.
Now 4th down right here. It's close enough where it's basically 4th and goal. If you don't score right here, it's a turnover, but Nebraska right now leaving their offense out on the field.
Nebraska going for the gusto here against a high-caliber team like the Wolverines. Scoring a touchdown on your first possession could be huge for momentum. Martinez back in the gun. Sends one man in motion. He's going to run. It's the design quarterback run on the outside. He's got the edge, and he's pushed out of bounds. That's going to be a turnover on downs. Michigan all over that one. Brad Hawkins coming up from the cornerback position and making the play. That's going to be a turnover on downs. And the Michigan's streak of never trailing in a game stays alive.
How about that? Michigan's defense coming up huge once again. That's the thing that Michigan has relied on this entire season is their defense, that defensive line coming up huge against Nebraska right there, who were literally knocking on the door of taking a 7-0 lead. But, Adrian Martinez, going back to that play right there, he had the outside. It's just his blockers. You can't hold Michigan's defensive line right there. They're able to get off their tackle and make the push Martinez out and turn over on downs. But, Scott Frost making the correct play call right there because it's so far into Michigan's zone. And if you want any chance of upsetting Michigan, you got to put touchdowns on the scoreboard. Field goals are not going to do it.
After the huge start to the game on the screen pass, that was good for 67 yards, just under that, about 50 yards from Martinez. Nebraska decided to run the ball 3 straight times, which led to a 4th and 5. They then converted on another beautiful pass down the sidelines for Martinez. He's currently 2 for 2 with 67 yards. They got it inside the 10-yard line, but then the Michigan offense said, you had a couple big plays, good for you. We're going to stop you and turnover on downs. Michigan holds strong. It'll be McNamara and the Michigan offense back out on the field when the media timeout does wrap up.
Now the ball's in Michigan's offense side right now. Can they do what they've done all season long and run the ball from your own end zone to the other end zone, take some time off the clock, take some momentum out of the stadium as the sun is setting? Nebraska, it's a humid conditions out there. It's 77. I mean, yesterday when we landed at the airport, it almost felt like Florida. That's how warm it was and humid. Forget that it's almost the middle of October.
Yeah, a little overcast at the start of the game. Clouds starting to dissipate a little bit. I mean, this looks like something out of a movie. You got the sunset in the background, the beautiful landscape of Lincoln, Nebraska. And where else would you rather be in the city than right here in Memorial Stadium?
This is the game for the Huskers this year.
The bowling team for Nebraska currently being honored down on the field. 2021 national champions. So the Cornhuskers bowling team bringing home the gold. And as that wraps up, it is go time. McNamara and the Michigan offense are going to go to work. Ball on their own 4-yard line. So they're going to look to gain a little bit of space and avoid a safety here. If you're Nebraska, you have to channel all that offense that you built up on the offensive end and channel it into your defense here. This is a huge series if you're the Cornhuskers. Allowing the Wolverines to go 96 yards all the way down the field will take out any energy from your sails that you had.
It will be so defeating.
Haskins in the backfield behind McNamara. Clean snap, hands off to Haskins, and he's got himself a little bit of room, pushing up to the 9-yard line. So McNamara will have a little bit more room to work.
Yeah, and you go back to the offensive line again, as they've just been so dominant. They're the big reason why Michigan's been so successful this season. You know, they've only allowed one sack, and 11 times they've stopped the ball carrier in the backfield. Other than that, Michigan gets the ball, it's going forward.
2 receivers split out wide. It's Dalen Baldwin on the near sideline. McNamara dropping back to pass, looking for Baldwin. He's got him on a hitch route, and he's got a first down. That one good for a gain of 5.
Yeah, Michigan's starting to settle in a little bit right there, getting out of their own zone all the way up to the 15-yard line right now, moving the ball, getting their first down conversion of the game.
J.J. McCarthy, the true freshman, checking in. Cade McNamara heads to the sidelines.
You know, we saw that last week. We didn't know if we'd see it again, but Harbaugh deciding to kind of make it more interesting.
Baldwin on the far sideline. Cornelius Johnson split out wide on this near sideline. McCarthy, he's going to keep it himself on a read option. He's got the edge. He's got a gain of 8 and more, and he's good for a first down. Fighting through contact and using his athleticism. See where the ball is spotted. It is going to be a fresh set of downs for Michigan. Cade McNamara checks back in.
You know, I really love the way Coach Gaddis and Harbaugh are taking care of this offense, you know, sprinkling in that creativity to keep these Cornhuskers on their heels.
Johnson split out on the near sideline. Baldwin and Sain are still on the outside. McNamara, play action. Looking for a man, looking deep on this sideline for Cornelius Johnson, and it's broken up. Great defensive effort there to go up and break up that pass.
Yeah, great defensive play right there by these Cornhuskers. But before Cade is even able to get that throw off, Hassan Haskins makes a huge tackle to give his quarterback a chance to throw it to Cornelius Johnson, and just not enough power to throw it over Cornelius. Cornelius had to slow down to make an opportunity to catch that ball.
The cornerback on the deflection, Cam Taylor-Britt. A huge keystone in this Cornhuskers offense. On 2nd and 10, McNamara is alone in the backfield as the crowd continues to rumble here in Lincoln. Looking across the middle and broken up. Another nice play there. That one intended for Eric All. Damian Jackson, the linebacker, breaking up that one.
Yeah, you know, the past couple of weeks, Michigan's tight ends haven't really been that, integrated into this game right here. You know, Eric Hall, the starting tight end for Michigan, it's got to come down with that ball right there. It's in the numbers. It's a difficult catch, but you got to come down with it.
McNamara going empty again on 3rd and 10. 3 receivers on the far side, 2 right here in front of the Michigan sideline. Play clock ticking down to 5. Snap is away. McNamara looking for a man. It's tipped and falls onto the turf. After the disappointing offensive end, the Nebraska defense comes out.
Yeah, Cornelius Johnson was wide open, but it's tipped at the line of scrimmage right there.
Great play there.
Yeah, Daniels on the tip right there to stop Michigan from getting the first down.
So Brad Dobbins will be back out there for the 2nd straight possession. We saw a great punt from him, put Nebraska deep back in their own territory, but the offense obviously led them all the way down the field. Good snap. Punt from Dobbins is away again, very similar to the last one. This one going to be fair caught at the 39-yard line. So Nebraska will start with better field position, looking for a better outcome.
Brad Robbins is probably a little bit thrown off right there. He hasn't been used that much the past couple of weeks and already has 2 punts in the first quarter, and we're only 6:48 left in the first quarter. It remains scoreless, and Nebraska's about to get the ball back for their 2nd possession of the game.
This game, obviously, a big matchup. But looking around the world of college football today, it was a loaded morning. A lot of really good games. 2 that come to mind. Ole Miss, Arkansas. Ole Miss, the underdog, playing at home against the number 13 nationally ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. That game was electric. Back and forth, back and forth. Both teams just slugging away at each other. Final score of that game, 52-51 in favor of the Ole Miss Rebels. That game ends as Arkansas scores to go to 51 as time expires, goes for the 2-point conversion for the win, but the Ole Miss defense hangs strong. So upset there. Another upset, or not another upset, but another fantastic game. Oklahoma versus Texas, the number 6th ranked nationally Oklahoma Sooners face off against the Texas Longhorns, and that was another game that was back and forth, back and forth. Texas came right out of the gates and punched Oklahoma in the mouth. Went up 28-7. Oklahoma fought their way back. Bench starting quarterback Spencer Rattler brought in the backup, and he went to work. Final score of that game, 55-48. Oklahoma scored with less than a minute left to win that one. Caleb Williams, the backup quarterback for the Sooners, comes in, goes 16-25 for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. He might have won himself that starting job.
You know, you get a quarterback that comes in right there in the middle of a game, another hostile environment, a huge rivalry game, does a fantastic job. I don't know how you don't go with the hot hand.
Also, 3 Big Ten matchups today, this morning. Ohio State beat Maryland 66-17. That one pretty much the expected outcome there. Michigan State also beat the Rutgers Scarlet Knights by a final score of 31-13. And then one of the biggest games of the day, a top 5 matchup. The number 3 overall ranked Iowa Hawkeyes face off against the Penn State Nittany Lions. Iowa comes out on top in that one, final score 23-20.
You know, we Iowa getting away. You know, those are 2 quality teams. Those are 2 of the best teams in the Big Ten. A huge win for the Iowa Hawkeyes. It was close. They end up pulling it out by 3. The Hawkeyes are legit, folks.
The Big Ten, stronger this year than any year in recent memory for me.
The Big Ten East, too.
The Big Ten East specifically, yeah. As the media timeout wraps up, we are set to go. Adrian Martinez and the Huskers offense coming back out there. Ball spotted right at the 35-yard line. So he'll go to work. He's in the shotgun. 2 men in the backfield with him. 3 receivers split out wide. There's a one-on-one on this near sideline. Vincent Gray matched up with his man. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Michigan all over that one.
Yeah, and we'll kind of expect the same thing from Nebraska to run it up the middle right there, but they're quickly met by multiple Michigan linemen right there.
The Michigan front 7, as we've said time and time again over the course of this season, has been the bread and butter of this team. Really just the core holding this team together. Only 1 man in the backfield now. Martinez looks to his left, looks to his right, now gets the snap, drops back, floats one, and it's going to be a incomplete flag on the play. That one's most likely coming back, and it is going to be pass interference. That one pretty clearly on Vincent Gray. We could see it from up here in the booth.
Yeah, Vincent Gray just getting beat on that one and had no other choice other than to hold his guy and hope that the referees don't see it.
And that is going to be called holding on Vincent Gray. That's going to be an automatic first down.
There is not an empty seat in the house right now.
I mean, all the way up in the nosebleeds, it's packed.
And the nosebleeds were packed an hour before kickoff.
These Nebraska fans surely excited for this one. 2 bunch sets on either side. Martinez, it's going to be an option run. It's on the outside. There's a flag down. That's going to be good for a gain of 10. Coming in motion and then receiving the option pitch was number 89, Oliver Martin.
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson was really left in the no man's land right there. Couldn't decide what Adrian Martinez was going to do. Was Martinez going to run with it or throw it out to another teammate? And it's always a tough one when you're stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Depending on who this flag is on, it could be a fresh set of downs. Referees in a group discussing. And it's going to be an illegal block below the waist called on Nebraska, so that one's coming back.
Yeah,
the Michigan defense catches a break there.
Yeah, this Nebraska offensive line, fairly inexperienced, bunch of new guys on the line right there. And their task is you're going up against Aiden Hutchinson, Donovan Jeter, David Ojabo, Mozzie Smith. That's a tall task right there.
It'll be 1st and 19 for the Nebraska Cornhuskers offense. Martinez has a man to both his left and right. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Johnson. That one good for a gain of 4, but it'll be 2nd and 17, looks like. 2nd and 16, rather. It's going to be the linebacker Hinton on the tackle there. So after the big penalty sets them back and the Michigan defense is all over that run play, it'll be 2nd and 15 for the Huskers offense. Martinez sends one man in motion. He's now alone in the backfield. Screen pass to the outside. He's got his man, Aiden Hutchinson, flying all the way over and making the play. Pass was completed to number 14, Ramir Johnson, but
just the absolute beast of Aiden Hutchinson right there. He had multiple players try to set up a block to get him through, but he still gets through, gets all the way to Johnson and makes the tackle, and makes it 3rd and long, really, for the Huskers.
3rd and 8 ball directly on the 50-yard line. Dropping back to pass is Martinez. Looking around, Hutchinson not able to take him down, escaping on the outside now and falls incomplete. Martinez made something out of nothing there, avoided the sack from Aiden Hutchinson, ran the ball all the way across the field, throws from basically right in front of the Michigan sideline, but it falls harmlessly to the turf, and that's going to be 4th and 8. And Nebraska is going to bring out the punt unit.
Yeah, this game definitely has, just those few possessions right there, has a component to be a low-scoring game and waiting for your opponent to make that mistake, to make that turnover. That's the biggest reason why Michigan was able to be so successful in Madison last weekend. They kept control of the ball. Wisconsin couldn't control the ball. Both defenses right now, we've seen them for 2 possessions, have been absolutely fantastic.
Punt is away. A few Wolverines in there almost making a block. And A.J. Henning's going to let that one bounce. He's going to go all the way down and just making its way into the end zone. No, the referee spot it at the 1-yard line. What a punt.
Wow.
Talk about a coffin corner. That ball bounces all the way down. A.J. Henning made the right play to let it bounce back. But the punter, William Pristup, pins the Wolverines back at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, Nebraska's been going back and forth between who their starting punters are, and I think William Pristup's got it right there. I mean, you're pinning Michigan deep in their own zone again at the 1-yard line. That's a tough task right there for Michigan. And
the referees have been conferring since the punt, and it looks like they're going to rule that a touchback. So the ball will start on the 20-yard line. So after the impressive kick from William Pristup, the Wolverines offense catches a break there. Going back to that 3rd down play, we mentioned before the game, Adrian Martinez, dual threat quarterback, Michigan, they're going to have to look to contain him. And, speaking to our WCBN analyst Daniel Thompson, also a Nebraska native, knows a lot about this Cornhuskers team. He was talking to us about how Adrian Martinez thrives in situations where he's allowed to extend plays with his legs. The longer plays go on, the more dangerous he gets, and that was almost the case there. Aiden Hutchinson coming in from his right side this time, or from his left side rather than typically his right, able to spin out of the sack, roll all the way out, extending that play as we said. But luckily, Michigan catches a break and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf, but that was bad news.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of how that progresses throughout the game. Because Aiden Hutchinson, we saw his freakness of nature right there, how he's able to get from one side to the other side, basically just throws. And Martinez has the ball, and Aiden's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'll decide which way. You decide which way you want to go, and I'll catch you. And when Aiden's like, okay, I'm not going to wait anymore, and he makes his move to go after Martinez, Martinez just flips it out to the side, and that's probably going to be Nebraska's biggest threat. And now if Nebraska is able to score first, Michigan, they have not trailed this entire season yet. And you put Michigan on the heels in a hostile environment where it's going to be a low-scoring game, and it's going to see which team can protect the ball, which team can limit their turnovers. That team that has the least amount of turnovers will be the team that comes out with the win tonight.
One of the main storylines we've seen this season out of the Michigan Wolverines has been that dual threat attack in the running back position. More of a speedy, quick kind of guy, make you miss, Blake Corum, and also on the power end of things, Hassan Haskins, that kind of 1-2 punch, thunder and lightning as they've been called this year. We've yet to see Blake Corum in on the offensive end. We saw him take the opening kickoff, but we have not seen him in the backfield yet on a rushing play. He's been in on a few passing plays, but currently only 2 players for Michigan to rush for yards is J.J. McCarthy, who's leading currently with 1 carry for 11 yards, and Hassan Haskins with 2 carries for 10 yards.
And that's the thing, though, is when you put so much tape out there, your identity is a run-first offense. Teams prepare for that. And so Michigan's trying to throw the teams off by opening up that run game. That's probably why we have not seen those two. But as soon as they can establish themselves in this game, Michigan will get way, way more comfortable. Right now, they look kind of out of flux.
As I say that, Corum situated in the backfield behind Cade McNamara. 2 receivers split out wide. It's Dalen Baldwin on the far sideline. Cornelius Johnson on this near side, matched up 1-on-1 against Omar Manning. Or correction, matched up. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Corum, his first touch of the day, and he's good for a gain of 8. Correction, it was Cam Taylor-Britt matched up on this near sideline with Cornelius Johnson.
Yeah, the Michigan Wolverines also taking another hit on the wide receiver court. No Roman Wilson. He did not travel with the team, so could we see a freshman Angel Anthony out there?
Ball spotted after 5 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 5 here for Michigan. Handoff to Corum again. He's got a hole, but what a play made. Wrapping him up, reaching his hand out is Damien Daniels. Damien Daniels, a big kid out there, 6'3", 325 pounds. And a grip strength like you wouldn't believe. Reaches out, catches the barest piece of Blake Corum's jersey and still able to take him down. Nebraska hustling to make substitutions here.
A hamburger helper tackle right there. Otherwise, I believe Blake, he had tackles. That would have been a huge gain.
And there's going to be a flag on the Michigan offense. Nebraska pointing right at the line towards Trevor Keegan. And he did move, but we'll see what the flag is. Most likely a false start. And that's what it's going to be, a false start. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Wolverines.
You know, going into last weekend, everybody's like, okay, they're going into Wisconsin, Camp Randall, where they have not won in 20 years. This is going to be a huge measuring stick for the Wolverines. It's a hostile environment. I was at that game. This is more of a hostile environment. This is difficult, and it's definitely showing because this offensive line already has 2 false starts and makes it 3rd and long for the Wolverines.
1-on-1 on the near sideline between Johnson and Taylor-Britt. McNamara alone in the backfield. He's gone empty. Gets the snap off. Looking across the middle of the field, wide open is Luke Shoemaker, and he's taken down by his neck at the 45-yard line. But a huge gain for Michigan and their biggest gain of the day.
I think Shoemaker had to look around and be like, is there anybody around me? His head was on a swivel. There was nobody within 10 yards of him.
Michigan putting their real deep threats on both outsides. Cornelius Johnson on this near side, Dalen Baldwin on the far side. Sanger still was in that slot position. And Luke Shoemaker pretty much went unnoticed. Went across the middle of the field wide open and sets his team up with great field position and a fresh set of downs. Haskins in the backfield to the right of McNamara. McNamara is going to look to pass again. And he's got his man, good for another first down. Cunningford, the receiver on that one. Honingford, another tight end, getting in on the action, streaking across the middle of the field. That's back-to-back first downs for the Wolverines. Keeping the pedal, keeping their foot on the gas. Johnson split out on this near sideline. Dalen Baldwin sent in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Haskins. He pushes through the line. But Nebraska all over that one. That one good for at most a gain of 2.
We can go back a few possessions and talk about how we mentioned that Michigan tight ends have not been that involved in the offense. 2 plays right there. We see 2 tight ends come up huge for the Wolverines with Luke Schoonmaker and Hungerford. So Michigan's going to have to open up the playbook a little bit more tonight.
Johnson and Baldwin split out right next to each other on this Michigan side. 2 men in the backfield. Eric All to the right of McNamara. Hassan Haskins behind him. Play action. McNamara taking a shot towards the end zone. He's got Dalen Baldwin, and it's broken up. What a play by Cam Taylor-Britt, opening up his hips and covering a lot of ground to break that one up. Backpedals at the last second, jumps up with the left hand, and sends it down into the turf. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Yeah, huge play right there. I don't think Baldwin gets in on that one, just the way his momentum's carrying him. He probably would have got out of it too, but nonetheless, Cam Taylor-Britt making that huge stop right there. Now Michigan Wolverines, 3rd and 8. They're in the Nebraska zone.
5 receivers wide. Donovan Edwards checks in for Blake Corum. McNamara alone in the backfield. It is loud here at Memorial Stadium. Here's the snap. McNamara scanning the field and sacked. That one a loss of 15. What a play. Nebraska comes through, sacking Cade McNamara. We mentioned before the game, Michigan had only been sacked 1 time coming into Lincoln, Nebraska today. Nebraska adding another tally mark in that column.
Ty Robinson coming through right there, getting a hand on McNamara as he tries to spin away, but is not able to get away, and Michigan will punt it away right now.
4th and 21. Brad Dobbins getting a workout in. Dobbins gets the snap. Nice blocking up front, able to get this one away. This one's sailing way back towards the end zone and fair caught at the 11-yard line. So after the huge play to get Michigan over midfield, Nebraska holds strong. Big sack on 3rd and 8.
It's going to be a battle of the defenses tonight.
So both teams scoreless here with only 6 seconds left in the first quarter. This game obviously not predicted to be a super high-scoring game. Neither of these offenses really scream high octane. In both of these defense, the real strong suit of both teams. This play most likely the last one of the first quarter. Adrian Martinez fields the snap at his own 1-yard line. He's just going to hand it up the middle to try and get a little bit more room, but that one's going to be good for only a gain of 3. So when we get back to work in the second quarter, Nebraska will start with the ball on their own 9-yard line.
Yeah, the end of the first quarter, let's just look at some of these stats right now. These teams, they've had the ball for roughly the same amount of time. Michigan having the ball just for a little bit more, but Michigan's run one more play than them. But biggest stat right now is total yards of offense. Nebraska has 101. Michigan has 60 yards. And also penalties. Penalties have come up huge for the Wolverines. 3 penalties for 20 yards. You cannot do that if you're coming into a hostile environment like Memorial Stadium. And you get penalties. And, 2 of those coming against this offensive line that we've talked about and given so much praise to. And it is loud. It is electric in this stadium. You literally have to take your headset off to hear how loud it is up here. If it's this loud up here, you can only imagine how loud it is down there.
The sun has completely set here in Lincoln, Nebraska, so the lights of Memorial Stadium shining bright. Coming from that atmosphere where we were last week, Amer, in Camp Randall, obviously that, a historic sight for college football. Jump around the whole 9 yards was, as we've said before, was incredible to witness. But these fans here at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska have brought the energy that their team needs here. The Sea of Red has showed out, and it's really made a difference. So both teams in their huddles just trying to scheme up something for the second quarter to come.
Yeah, but also what we missed is that tackle on Cade McNamara by Ty Robinson. Jim Harbaugh was pleading his case for a horse collar tackle. Referees were having none of it. It was a 50-50 call. But
Yeah, it was one of those ones where if they throw the flag, the defense is upset. If they don't throw the flag, the offense is upset. He definitely had that kind of region where a horse collar tackle could be called, but at least from up here, it looked like majority jersey and not so much shoulder pads. But obviously, as you said, the referees have a much better view than we do.
And it's not like Michigan's offense is right now making the wrong plays. I mean, they're making the right play calls. It's just Nebraska's defense is playing better. You know, you had the play right here on the right end zone where the ball was being thrown to Baldwin, and you have Cam Taylor-Brish just get a hand in there and break up that pass. You know, it's those small plays that are going to go such a far way the longer this game stays tied up at 0. It's going to be a low-scoring game, I believe.
Give you a quick look around the rest of the college football world. There's a few more games going on right now. Notre Dame is currently losing 7-0 against Virginia Tech in the second quarter there. Kentucky, number 16th in the country, facing the unranked LSU Tigers. They're up 14-0. And Alabama currently losing 3-0 against the unranked Texas Tech, or Texas A&M Aggies.
So as it stands right now, Michigan's the only team to not trail a game this season. The only other two teams remaining were Georgia and Alabama, and both of those teams are trailing right now.
Wolverines going to try to hold on to that impressive streak. For Adrian Martinez and the Cornhuskers offense to break that streak, they would have to go the length of the field. Their ball on the 9-yard line. It's 2nd and 7. There's 4 receivers split out wide. Not much room to work on the Nebraska sideline as they're on the left hash. Michigan matched up in what looks to be a man-to-man defense. The cornerback out wide for the Michigan Wolverines, Jamon Green. It's going to be a handoff up the middle in the Michigan front 7. All over that one. Nakai Hill-Green and Josh Ross all over it.
Yeah, Nakai Hill-Green right there coming through that defensive or offensive line and stopping Johnson in his tracks right there. It'll force a 3rd down.
Martinez getting his team set. A slower no-huddle offense. They've got a bunch set on the far side now, sending a man in motion. Martinez dropping back to pass. Looking over the middle. He's got his man. That one's good for a 1st down. Connecting to Oliver Martin. Martinez just still padding his stats. He's now 4 for 5. 80% completion percentage.
Yeah, Michigan really struggling with that dual threat quarterback right now. And
Nebraska getting right up on the ball, now looking over towards the sidelines. Martinez taking his time towards his right side is Yant. Yant's going to get the handoff, and he's got room to work on the outside. But Michigan floods over and makes the play. Nakai Hill-Green right there on the tackle along with Josh Ross. That duo has been all over the place on the field.
They're going to need it tonight.
So after the big play for 1st down, Nebraska stuffed twice in a row. It's 2nd and 8. Martinez taking his time, sends a man in motion. Now he's got 1 on the far side, 2 on the near side split out. There's a flag right at the start of the play. That one completed, and he breaks the tackle, and he's good for a 1st down and 15 yards. Logan Smothers. Dax Hill on the tackle. Referees conferring. We'll see what this flag is on. It was thrown right at the start of the play, so it could be offsides. And it's going to be on the Cornhuskers. That one, illegal formation. So
huge.
That's huge for the Wolverines. After a big play on 2nd and 8, they're going to get that one brought back.
In between quarters, we were talking about how Michigan was really penalized right there, but that penalty is going to sting for these Nebraska Cornhuskers because it was a 1st down for them. Now they are back at the 16-yard line, looking at a 2nd and long. It'll be
2nd and 13. Nebraska taking their time here, getting set. Oliver Martin split out wide on this near side. He's got one-on-one coverage with Jamon Green, and we're going to have a timeout called. Nebraska is going to call their first timeout of this contest.
No full media timeout. Let's go.
Yeah, this one, 30-second timeout, and Nebraska didn't like what they saw. They were a little unorganized coming out there, and play clock was just ticking down.
Yeah, right now the obvious number one running back for Nebraska is Ramir Johnson. He has 7 carries for 14 yards. Felt like he had one. Oh, that wasn't a rush. That was a throw. The one where the passing or the receiving one for 43 yards. That was the biggest play of this game so far. On the other side, Luke Schoonmaker for the Wolverines, 24 yards when he was just wide open in the middle of the field.
Martinez to go to work on 2nd and 13. 4 receivers split out wide. Looking down the field, he's got a man over the middle, and it's tipped up in the air and intercepted. Dax Hill, what a play! Laying out to his left side. Dax Hill tips it up in the air, hits the ground, and maintains possession.
How about that? Dax Hill gets a hand up there, gets a deflection, and the ball literally falls into his hands. This one's definitely going to be reviewed to see if it hit the ground or not. Call on the field. It looks like, have they signaled it for Michigan? Yeah, they did.
Call on the field is an interception. So, barring any overriding evidence, it will be Wolverines' ball. But no matter what way this play goes, what a play by Dax Hill. That ball, very beautifully thrown. He tips it, and then just the sheer body control and realization. I mean, looking at it on the big screen, oh, that's a catch all day.
What the scary thing is right there, RJ Moten, RJ Moten coming in right there and almost knocks it out of Daxton Hill's hands. But that was a fantastic catch right there. You know, we mentioned it multiple times. Which team's going to make the first mistake? Nebraska, turnover, forced by Dax Hill. Can Michigan capitalize? They need, and I mean need, points on this drive.
After the fantastic play from Hill, the offense is going to go back on the field. Hassan Askins to the outside. He's got a gain of 5.
I got to go back to that play right there by Dax Hill. Just a fantastic catch.
Just the sheer body control and just realization and awareness of where he is in relation to the ball. That just shows how great of an athlete Dax Hill is. McNamara sends Dalen Baldwin in motion, brings him a little closer. Hand off to Haskins. He makes one man miss, and he's got enough for a first down. Ball inside the 35-yard line. That one's going to be marked at about the 34. Or 24, excuse me.
Nonetheless, Michigan moving the ball up the field right now. They need points. You got to capitalize on turnovers, especially when you have players like Dax Hill go up and make a SportsCenter top 10 play.
Hand off to Haskins again. He's getting his share of work. That one good for at most a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Here comes JJ and Blake Corum checking into the game. Last time JJ was in, it was a quarterback keeper.
Yeah, McCarthy's shown that he's definitely the more athletic out of the 2 quarterbacks, him and Cade McNamara. Be interested to see what Coach Harbaugh and the Michigan offense have drawn up here. Hand off to Blake Corum, follows his block and gets enough for maybe 1. Great play there by the defender coming across the field.
Yeah, it's going to be about 3rd and 5 right now, so a big play right here. Can Nebraska stop the Wolverines in their tracks and potentially force that field goal, or can Michigan convert the 3rd down? They're 1 for 4 on 3rd down so far tonight.
Ty Robinson made a great play there to cut off Blake Corum, who was looking for some green space. McCarthy still in the game. Hassan Haskins towards his left. It's going to be a handoff, and Haskins met at the line. It'll be 4th and 2, and Michigan's going to bring out the kicking unit.
Yeah, definitely a smart move by Michigan right there. I mean, credit to Nebraska right there. You know, they have the turnover. You will take them trying this field goal attempt right now over Michigan putting 7 points up. But right now, Jim Harbaugh electing to go with the field goal attempt. It's going to be Jake Moody from about 35 yards out.
Good snap, good hold, and Jake Money Moody making his name ring true. Michigan scores first.
Yeah, Jake Money Moody right there. You know, he's been super consistent for the Wolverines this season, but, you know, that's kind of a win for Nebraska right there, keeping Michigan out of the end zone, only giving up 3 points.
Some Michigan fans at home probably a little frustrated. Coach Harbaugh didn't elect to go to the air there with the high-caliber freshman J.J. McCarthy. But after the media timeout, the Wolverines will kick it away to the Cornhuskers. And, I mean, we've mentioned it time and time again throughout this broadcast. Now we have an official number to give them the credit that they deserve. 87,380 fans in attendance today here in Memorial Stadium. I mean, the sea of red doesn't even begin to explain it. It is incredible. Every seat in the stadium is packed full.
They love their football here in Nebraska. They do, you know, and that's exactly what Scott Frost was brought into Nebraska, was to get Nebraska back up to that national level, that national province. And, you know, it hasn't been the greatest start for them. He's 15-38 for 397 win percentage, so not the greatest start, but they are turning the corner is what it feels like. You know, this is not the Nebraska team that we see on paper. You know, they're 3-3, but they have losses against Oklahoma, a 23-16 loss at Oklahoma, and then a loss to Michigan State in overtime, which they honestly should have won, and then a loss at Illinois. That was kind of a weird one. The loss at Illinois where they lost 30-22, and Illinois has kind of completely gone the other way, while Nebraska has flipped the script and they're on the up. So definitely a good matchup for both these teams tonight.
The stadium very engaged for a matchup between two historically good football programs. Nebraska and Michigan, two of just 8 total schools to have more than 900 all-time wins. Michigan ranks first in that list, while the Cornhuskers down in number 7. But still, two extremely historic programs.
You mentioned the history, and I mean, you look right across from us on the 50-yard line. It says national championships: 1970, 71, 94, 95, 97. That's a question mark, but you know, that's what Scott Frost was brought in to do, is to get these Cornhuskers back up there to that type of level. And when you have a sea of 87,000 fans, which is predominantly red. I mean, you saw it last weekend in Wisconsin. There was quite a few Michigan fans, to the point where the students took over the student section. Probably my favorite part of that game.
You see a few maize shirts scattered around the stadium, but yeah, as you said, predominantly a sea of red, the name living up to its historic marks. Jake Moody sets his ball up, and he will be ready to kick it off here with 9:52 left in the first half. If you're just tuning in, this game very low scoring. The Wolverines just got on the board for the first time. 3-0 sits the score. Moody set to kick it away. This one looping back, and that one's going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, Jake Moody this season, he doesn't really give returners any opportunity to come out.
No, as guys we've mentioned on this Michigan team who can take their game to the next level, make it to the NFL, obviously names like Aiden Hutchinson, Blake Corum, Josh Ross have been at the top of that list, but I mean, you really can't have that conversation without also throwing Jake Moody's name into the mix. He's been incredibly consistent for this Wolverines team. He's got an incredibly powerful leg. I mean, that's what they're looking for at the next level.
Yeah, and him and Quinn Nordine were going back and forth the past couple of years, but now It's his job, and Quinn's in the NFL with the Patriots.
First play is a handoff. That one up the middle for 2 yards. So that Michigan front seven still just making an impact. Ramir Johnson doesn't have any room to work between the tackles. Donovan Jeter, Aiden Hutchinson, David Ajabo, they're all over the place up front.
Mm-hmm. So last possession, Nebraska gets that turnover. Fantastic interception by Dax Till. How do they respond right now? You know, the defense for Nebraska came up huge by only allowing 3 points. Can Nebraska move this ball up the field?
Martinez hands it off again. That one good for a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8, depending on the spot. And it looks like it'll be 3rd and 7. So 3 yards to go before a new set of downs for the Huskers. Jamon Green and Dax Hill providing coverage on this near sideline. 2 receivers split out wide. Martinez sends a man in motion. Fakes the screen pass. Now looking on the near side, or far side rather, for the screen pass again. That same play that they had that huge gain on earlier to Ramir Johnson. Michigan not fooled that time. Nakai Hill Green right there on his mark.
Yeah, and you can look at that linebacker core for Michigan with Nakai Hill Green and Josh Ross. When Josh Ross went down against Rutgers, his presence was definitely missed. In that second half, Rutgers was able to flip the script.
3 and out for the Huskers. And they're going to have to punt it away. Michigan getting in there, but to no avail. It's going to be A.J. Henning back deep to receive. Fields it cleanly, now running backwards, and he's taken down inside the 10-yard line. Great coverage there by the Nebraska special teams unit.
So most of Michigan's possessions will start deep in their own territory right there. Getting taken down just right at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, ball marked just inside the 10. You know, you look back and watch old return highlights of guys like Devin Hester where they run around and they run backwards and go all the way across the field and turn it around and spin all the way back. And when those plays work, they're the most exciting plays in football to watch. They're electric all the way through. But then, you know, just from a fundamental football standpoint, people watching plays like that where, you know, they're terrible until they're wide open streaking down the sidelines. You see guys run backwards and you just kind of cringe in your seat, especially as a Michigan fan, because you went from starting at what could have been potentially around the 20, 18-yard line to now inside your own 10.
And you mentioned that, like, electric type of play. And, you know, first couple of weeks we saw Michigan do all their damage on the ground with Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins. And, you know, people are like, well, that's not fancy. We want more. We want to see him throw it. Yeah, it's not great on TV, but every coach, 10 out of 10, will be like, I will take 300 yards on the ground any day of the week. And Michigan, they've kind of fallen back from that, really struggling to get the running game going right now. They got 33 yards of rushing through a quarter and a half of football.
The score sits 3-0 in favor of the Wolverines with 8:37 left to play. Looking at this Michigan offense, we've seen that quote-unquote dual quarterback setup a few times. We've seen McNamara take all of the passing attempts. He's currently 4 for 9 for 45 yards. He's looked all right. He's made a couple nice plays, but nothing to blow anyone's socks off. Most of the production has been on the ground. Hassan Haskins leading the way with 7 carries for 27 yards. J.J. McCarthy with 1 carry for 11 yards. There's that dual quarterback setup that I mentioned. He's coming a few times to hand the ball off as well. And Blake Corum with 3 carries for 8 yards as well.
Yeah, but when you look at the defensive side of the ball for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, when you have players like Cam Taylor-Britt and Williams just making huge plays for these Huskers, stopping Michigan from getting into a good momentum, that's what's going to keep them in this game. That's what's going to keep this game close. Now that Michigan gets the ball with 8:37 left in the second quarter, leading 3-0, they need that Michigan long drive right here, and where they put up 7 points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, a lot of credit needs to go to Cam Taylor-Britt. We mentioned McNamara, only 45 yards through the air, but he's had 2 separate plays that would have been good for about 45 yards total, or each rather, had Cam Taylor-Britt not been there to break it up. The Wolverines set to go to work. It's 1st and 10 on their own 10-yard line. It's McNamara in the backfield. Blake Corum towards his right hand. Star is starting to come out here in Lincoln, Nebraska. 3 men split out wide on this near sideline. Corum sent in motion that way. It's going to be a screen pass completed. He's got room to work. Spins away from one tackle and brought down after a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 rather.
So Michigan's obviously struggling to establish that run game right now. So they're doing it by doing those swing passes out to Blake Corum and let the Lightning running back do his job, and makes it 2nd and less than a yard right now as the ball sits at the 19-yard line.
4 receivers wide. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Corum again. He's got the edge and enough for a first down. And taken down inbounds. That one. Corum ran a real long way all the way across the field, doing a lot of east to west running before cutting it up for a first down.
Yeah, Blake Corum now starting to rack up his attempts. That was his 4th rushing attempt of the game so far.
Same formation for the Wolverines again. 4 receivers wide, 1 running back in the backfield, but this time it's Hassan Haskins. McNamara drops back to pass, hits his man Cornelius Johnson. That one caught. A hitch route, good for 4 yards.
Yeah, Hassan Haskins once again coming into this game and doing his job, making that big block as a line as his defense blitzes. Hassan Haskins picks up the blitz, stops the block, gives the opportunity for Cade to make that throw to Cornelius Johnson.
2nd down, and we're going to have a flag before the play even goes. Trying to see what this one is. The referee pointed towards Nebraska. They're going to have a quick conversation. And it is going to be on the defense.
Whew. Have you ever heard of that? Delay of game. All that I saw was one of the Nebraska linemen just start jumping up and pointing at the Michigan offensive line, signaling that they jumped early. But nonetheless, delay a game, and Michigan moves the ball up to the 34-yard line.
That one, an automatic first down. Handoff to Hassan Haskins. Haskins taken down after a gain of 3. So with that run and the previous penalty, the Wolverines have gained 8 yards from their last point of possession. 6:44 on the clock. Wolverines still up only 3-0. A very low-scoring game here in Lincoln. 3 receivers split out wide. Now Eric All sent in motion to the far side. He's going to go down into a 3-point stance. McNamara has Haskins to his left. Dropping back to pass. Throws a hitch route to Cornelius Johnson, who's tackled right away short of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Third down, 3rd and 1.
Hurry up offense here from Michigan. Bunch formation towards the right. It's Eric All, Luke Schoonmaker, and Dalen Baldwin in a bunch formation. Now Baldwin sent out wide. Johnson also moving his way out there. Now they've split out 3 receivers wide. Snap. McNamara hands off to Haskins, and he's met in the backfield. And there's a flag down on the play.
Yeah, I don't know if that flag is for Nebraska jumping early on that one, but either he jumped early or he timed it perfectly because he was right through that offensive line.
Hassan Haskins showing off his own physical strength, as I said, was met in the backfield, but able to fight his way through that and spin. By the time he went down, he was past the first down marker. So the referees will give us the final word on what this call is. And the flag was for an illegal formation, but they wave it off. And they're actually going to mark Corum short.
I think they marked the ball way more different than where the tackle was made, and Harbaugh is livid on the sidelines right now.
Yeah, Coach Harbaugh.
Because that looked like it was 4th and
upset.
inches, and that's a huge decision for Coach Harbaugh right there.
Currently, it's 4th and 1. Michigan has the ball on their own 43-yard line. The offense is still out there. Play clock ticking down as Coach Harbaugh continues to chirp at the referees, and we're going to have a flag in the field for delay of game. That flag's going to get waved off. Michigan called timeout right before the play clock expired. Coach Harbaugh
is out to the Big Ten logo all the way out there, letting the refs know, giving him a piece of his mind.
Well, I mean, as we said, we saw Hassan Haskins spin out of that tackle and get past the first down marker, but a lot of the concentration was on that flag for what the referees decided was not an illegal formation. And the spot came back, and it was nowhere near where Haskins went down.
No, if anything, it looks like he lost yardage on that where they marked the ball. But it looks like that's where the ball is going to stay. And now Coach Harbaugh and the staff have a difficult decision to make right now because the ball is it's on the 43-yard line. Michigan's up 3-0. You got 5:05 left in the quarter. Your defense is playing fantastic football. Nebraska's defense is playing really good football too. If you don't get this and you give the ball over to Nebraska already in plus territory, I don't know about that one.
Whichever team punches the ball in the end zone first is going to carry the momentum as long as they possibly can. The score currently sits, as you said, Amer, 3-0 in favor of the Wolverines. This is a huge possession for either team. With only 5:05 left in the game clock, a turnover here, and the style of football that Nebraska's been playing, just kind of trying to smash it up the middle. This game could go to the half. It's still locked 3-0.
Yeah, and you mentioned it multiple times. Well, this play, when we look back, this could be a game-changing play, and you can go the Dax Till interception right there, where you have Nebraska's defense come up huge to keep Michigan out of the end zone and only give up 3 points. I mean, that's ideal if you're going to turn the ball over, other than no points allowed at all. But to give up a field goal is Scott Frost will take that. Right now, this is a difficult decision. Do you punt it or do you go for it? If it's my decision, I'm punting the ball.
We're getting word now that the previous play is under review, so they're going to check the spot most likely. Coach Harbaugh, as we mentioned, was right out on the field, chirping in the referee's ears, just asking for anything that he could. Head line judge, we get the official word that the play is under review. We saw it on our stat sheet first. The 87,000 fans in Memorial Stadium giving the referees a piece of their mind as they send boos towards the field. Both teams still in their huddles on the field. Michigan with their offense out there, the defense sitting down trying to get some rest. It has been a hard-fought game for both teams so far. I mean, as we mentioned, only 3-0. Michigan has been able to put up points at a pretty consistent rate all season long. They put up 47 against Western Michigan, 31 against Washington, 63 against Northern Illinois, 20 against Rutgers, toned it back a little bit, but then comes right back out in Camp Randall last week and puts up 38 on a very underrated Wisconsin Badgers team.
I mean, when you look at Wisconsin, when you lose to 3 top 10 teams, you don't know how bad your football team is when you're losing to quality opponents. You lose to Penn State opening weekend, Camp Randall, where there have not been fans for 2 years. And then you lose to Notre Dame at a neutral site where Notre Dame just ran up the score at the end right there. And then Michigan comes in, and Michigan gave them a beatdown, honestly. You know, other than the end of that first half where Michigan allowed Wisconsin to score heading into halftime, Michigan played a solid game.
Looks like we're about to receive the final word.
There you go.
And it is marked for a first down. So as we mentioned, Haskins spun for that extra yardage and made his way up. So we got the spot right up here in the booth.
Hey, +1 for the broadcasters tonight, -1 for the refs.
So it'll be first down, ball at the 46-yard line. Michigan now in a much more comfortable position.
Now they don't have to make that difficult game momentum shifting type of call. They have the first down. They have 5:05 left on the clock.
Three receivers split out wide on the far sideline. It's Johnson, Baldwin, and Sanders. McNamara dropping back, looking deep down the field. He's got his man, Cornelius Johnson, diving catch. Ball caught at the 7-yard line. Correction, that's Mike Sanders. But what a catch. Full extension.
Wow, what a catch by Mike Sanders. Absolutely, wow. I got no words. Other than absolute full-on extension to make an amazing catch and put Michigan in the red zone right now.
Beautiful ball from Cade McNamara, and he set his team up in great field position.
There you go. What a play call.
First and goal, ball on the 6-yard line. Dalen Baldwin motioned in closer. McNamara dropping back to pass. He's got a man open, wide open. It's Dalen Baldwin, but broken up. It's Cam Taylor-Britt again. Getting a hand in there.
Cam Taylor-Britt, the junior, 6 foot 197 out of Montgomery, Alabama, coming up huge for the Cornhuskers right there because Dalen Baldwin, that ball was in the numbers. He was coming down with it, and he just punches it out.
Yeah, Baldwin definitely got his feet down, but as you said, just punching that ball out. Michigan, two receivers split out wide. It's Johnson and Baldwin. Two men in the backfield. Eric All to the right of McNamara. Haskins behind him. Haskins gets the handoff, breaks two tackles, reaches out the ball. And we have signal from the referees. That's a touchdown. The far side referee signaling touchdown. The referee on the near side hasn't given us a signal yet.
He might be down just short, but the call on the field is a touchdown. Looking from that replay that we initially saw, he might have touchdown just right before he broke the plane. But
the kicking unit's out there, so if they do not review it, it will go down as a touchdown for Hassan Haskins.
I wonder what the crowd thinks the call is.
As you can hear, most likely through our headsets, 87,000 people seem to think that he was short and the referees are going to review it.
I don't. Even from this look, you can't really tell where the ball is because you have a knee of a Cornhusker blocking the view. So, I mean, it's huge that the call on the field was a touchdown. So unless the referee sees something else.
No, that's completely right, Amer. Had that been marked down at the 1-yard line and Coach Harbaugh elected to challenge it, I don't know if there'd be enough evidence, as you said, because there is no clear indication of where that knee is, as there wouldn't be any clear indication that it is in fact a touchdown. But since it was called a touchdown on the field, this replay is definitely in favor of the Wolverines here.
So we'll step away from that for a second and just let's go back to that throw by Cade McNamara to Mike Sanderstow. Sanderstow beat his defender. He's wide open. Cade put the ball, he put a little bit too much power on it, but Sanderstow fully extends to make the play right there. Absolutely huge call. Yeah.
After review, the referees say Hassan Haskins was short of the goal line, so the ball will go down at the 1-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal on the 1. So the Wolverines offense going to come back out there. The Huskers defense has a chance to stand strong.
All right, so we see Cade McNamara is heading into the game. Last time we saw a similar type of play against Wisconsin, we saw J.J. McCarthy with the quarterback sneak. Do we see that now with Cade McNamara holding onto the ball? Hassan Haskins is the back. Does he hand it off to Hassan and Hassan goes over top? I think it's going to be a quarterback sneak just because Cade McNamara is going under center right now.
Eric All sent in motion. Now in the fullback position, he's going to hand it off to Haskins, and he goes up and over. Touchdown, Michigan!
Touchdown Michigan Wolverines right there. Hassan Haskins going up and over, as you mentioned, but is literally met at the goal line. But after he crossed the plane by 2 Cornhuskers, Cade McNamara got tripped up as he's handing the ball off to Hassan Haskins. Nonetheless, Hassan goes up and over into the end zone. Michigan leads 9-0 right there.
The Nebraska defense, an impressive push from the front 7. I mean, as you said, McNamara was falling down as he handed that off. We're going to have a whistle before the kick. Kick was good on the extra point.
Wonder if we have a timeout by Nebraska.
They might be reviewing this play. As you said, McNamara was going down from up here. It looked like his knee might have been down before he handed that ball off.
That'd be a turn of events.
The referee's over on the far side, having a word with the Nebraska coaching staff. They show it again up on the big screen. And from this angle on the screen, McNamara looks like he was down on about the 3-yard line before he handed that ball
But then
off.
when you look at it, when does the ball change possession?
And they're going to review it. This could be huge. This is potentially back-to-back plays that Michigan has scored on that get reviewed and get overturned.
They just don't want Michigan in the end zone right now.
Nebraska could catch a huge break here. The score as it currently sits is 9-0 Michigan, as they haven't kicked the extra point yet. Hassan Haskins scored on the 3rd and goal attempt from the 1. But the play is reviewing Cade McNamara being down by contact before he hands the ball off. And I mean, they show it up there on the board, and they've got a circle around it. His knee is down, but it's a question of not whether or not he was down, but whether or not the ball is exchanged yet. And
exactly. It's like when does Hassan Haskins gain? This is going to be an interesting call. This is going to be a very interesting call. Because you can go either way right there.
And we have word. The referees have ruled that McNamara was down. And not only was he down, the ball now is spotted on the 4-yard line.
Well,
so Michigan is going to have to send the kicking unit out there and settle for a field goal attempt.
What a change! What a turn of events right there. Absolutely insane right there. Cade McNamara gets tripped up, loses yardage before handing it off to Hassan Haskins, and Michigan's going to attempt a field goal right now.
So the score back to 3-0. Jake Moody's kick is up and good, so that's going to make it 6-0. But what a change of events. Michigan punches the ball into the end zone 2 separate times within the 3-yard line. Both plays are overturned after review, and then they have to settle for a field goal. I mean, in a tightly locked ball game like this, 3-0 going into that final possession, now final score, or after the possession, of 6-0. I mean, it is still a one-score ball game with 3:19 left to play here in the first half.
One-score game. Nebraska gets the ball to start the second half. You know, we might come back to this play and say, that was an absolute huge sequence right there. You know, it all started out with the ball being misplaced right there with Hassan Haskins. Did he get the first down? Did he not get the first down? After review, Michigan does get the first down right there. And then the next play right after that is Cade McNamara going deep to Mike Sanderstill to put Michigan in the red zone. And then you have two plays where Michigan scores a touchdown and gets overturned, and they have to settle for a field goal. Wow. Wow.
What a possession. 3 separate official reviews. 1 goes in favor of the Wolverines. 2 go in favor of the Cornhuskers. And Michigan, after what for Michigan fans at home was 2 straight touchdowns, has to settle for a field goal. Absolutely heartbreaking if you're the Wolverines.
Yeah, and you got 3:19 left on the clock. Michigan could, if their defense comes up big again and forces a 3-and-out, could potentially get the ball one more time before heading into the locker room. But it'll be a really interesting one right there. But wow, what a change of events where you go from all the momentum's in Michigan's favor. They're up 10-0 to they have to settle for a field goal, and it's now 6-0. And, Nebraska can come down or bring the ball all the way down the field, and then we got either a tie game or Nebraska's up by 1. But
momentum has completely shifted.
It's gone back and forth. It really has. And it's such a weird sequence of events because you had the kicking team out there. The referees signaled you're good to go. Jake Moody kicked the field goal, the extra point, and is literally stopped before they snap it. Now, did Scott Frost did they call timeout? Doesn't look like it. So I don't know. Just a weird sequence of events by this officiating crew tonight.
Somehow, after a scoring drive from the Michigan Wolverines, at least personally, I think all the momentum is on Nebraska's side here.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, when you have a sequence like that, I mean, other than that absolutely crazy throw to Mike Sanderstill, which was for 48 yards, which, that was just a fantastic diving catch right there. And then you have another 3 points. And that's exactly what type of game we're going to have tonight. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Which team can make the least amount of mistakes? Right now, Michigan is not fully capitalizing on their opportunities, and you do not want to do that against this Cornhusker team, this re-energized Cornhusker team that are looking to make a statement for their head coach, Scott Frost, in his 4th season at the helm.
So after punching through his 2nd field goal of the night, Jake Moody set to kick off. This one is going to be fair caught in the end zone for a touchback, so Jake Moody does what he does best, kicks field goals and kicks touchbacks.
That's why we gave him the name of Money Moody. M&M's.
So with some of the momentum on their side, Adrian Martinez and the Huskers offense is going to go back out there. Aiden Hutchinson and the Michigan defense going to look to get the ball back into their offensive hands.
And it's not like Martinez is having a bad game so far. He's 4 for 7, completing 57% of his passes. It's just this Michigan defense is playing a really good game.
Martinez has 3 receivers out to his right-hand side, drops back to pass, steps up in the pocket, and he's hit as he throws.
That
ball's loose, and it's recovered by David Ajabo. And the ruling on the field is a fumble. Michigan recovers.
Hold your horses. We're going to have to review it. The last couple of reviews have not gone in Michigan's favor.
Replay shown up on the big screen.
Nonetheless, this could be another momentum shift. I don't know. From initial reviews, what we're about to see right now.
Martinez drops back to pass as he's stepping up. It's going to be interesting to see. That ball, Ajabo definitely applied a good hit, but his arm was starting to move forward. I mean, they are going to review this play. If I had to guess, I would put my money on the fact that this is going to be an incomplete pass.
I mean, Mozzie Smith was literally right on his back right there. Mozzie Smith with the tackle right there, and then Ajabo coming up with the tackle. I mean, it's just the momentum of Smith right there on the back of Martinez. I don't know. It's his hand is definitely going forward. Now the question is, when did he lose possession of the ball? Another thing that plays into Michigan's favor, it was ruled a fumble on the field. It's literally 50-50.
Yeah, his arm was moving forward, but also, as you mentioned, Mozzie Smith providing most of the
just momentum. Just a little bit more momentum right there to nudge him forward. But call on the field as a fumble, unless there's clear and concise evidence that his hand was going forward. I think it's going to be overturned. because he still has possession of the ball as he's going through his through his motion right there.
Either way, it's a huge play for the Michigan defense. That a huge sack, or incompletion rather, because there were receivers open down the field.
As Reggie Smith returns, and he's going to give us the call.
And it is going to be ruled an incomplete pass. They ruled that Adrian Martinez, as you said, Amer, did have control of the ball. Ball was still in his hand. Arm was moving forward, so Nebraska catches a break. But the Michigan defense, they're probably hungry. They want more.
Man, this feels like deja vu. Another call going against these Wolverines.
Two receivers split out towards Martinez's right side. Jamon Green and Dax Hill providing man-on-man pressure. Martinez drops back to pass, looking down the sidelines. And there's going to be a flag. That one going to be called holding again on DJ Turner. He was all over his receiver. Oliver Martin was trying to streak down the sidelines.
Oliver Martin, the main threat for the Huskers behind Toure. Those two are kind of like the 1-2 duo for the Huskers. But, you know, DJ Turner, he'll take that 15-yard penalty instead of, because if he gets past him, there's nothing but green grass in front of Oliver Martin.
It is called pass interference on DJ Turner, so Nebraska has a fresh set of downs. Three receivers and the running back split out to the right side of Martinez. Stepping up, escapes the sack from Aiden Hutchinson. Looking down the field, throwing on the run. He's got his man caught for a first down. That one's a gain of 11. Dax Hill coming up to make the tackle.
Aiden Hutchinson really applying pressure right there on the outside. Maybe the lineman right there really, I don't know, maybe not holding him right there, but nonetheless, Martinez breaks away and makes the play.
Nebraska gets the play off. Looking on the far sideline, Martinez, his pass incomplete. That one sails out of bounds. Harmlessly to the turf.
Yeah.
That pass again intended for Oliver Martin. He's been target number 1 for Martinez.
You can go back to last week as well, where Michigan really struggled to close out the half against Wisconsin, in a similar position right now, but much more time on the clock.
4 receivers wide. Running back to his left-hand side. Martinez drops back. Johnson stepping up to pick up the blitz. Looking down the sideline, and that one over the head of both the receiver and the cornerback, Vincent Gray, intended for Martin again.
Yeah, really not the greatest throw right there by Martinez. Expecting Martin to be running a little bit more, trying to get it in between Vincent Gray and DJ Turner, who's coming in to help out.
And we do have a lineman down on the field. Looks like it might be Turner Corcoran, the right tackle. Training staff quickly runs over to tend to him. Hope he's okay. This would be a huge loss for the Cornhuskers offense.
Charlie, you need anything from concessions? Because there's no fans have left their seats yet. And, you know, we're getting close to halftime. And whenever you're watching the game, there's always that little bit of a nudge to go get concessions to beat out the crowd. I literally do not see an empty seat in the stadium right now. So, I mean, if you want a hot dog, pretzel, I don't know, just let me know.
Correction on our end. It was Teddy Prohaska. So he'll head to the sidelines, and he's trying to hype up the crowd as he walks over.
Yeah,
limping a bit, but walking off on his own power.
Yeah, the 6'9", 305-pound freshman. You know, it's always good to see him put pressure on that foot. Walking a little bit gingerly to the sideline as he will head to the tent on the sideline.
Martinez comes back out. He's alone in the backfield. Johnson up near the line. It's 3rd and 10. Ball on the 49-yard line. Michigan were to get a stop here, they'd have plenty of time for another offensive series. Martinez drops back to pass on 3rd and 9, stepping up, and he's going to be sacked.
Oh. It looks like Martinez is lucky he didn't lose that ball right there, because Ojabo had 2 hands on the ball as he was making the tackle, and Martinez just falls to his back. But you mentioned it, Michigan's going to get this ball back with plenty of time on the clock to get one more possession before heading into halftime. They'll have about 90 seconds to draw something up. A.J. Henning will be the deep man for the Wolverines.
William Prista, the punter for Nebraska, is going to kick it away from his 35-yard line. Ball just inside the 50. There's going to be a flag on the play, and the whistle sounds before the snap.
By a little bit more space for your punter to, he's done a fantastic job tonight pinning the Wolverines inside their own 10.
Yeah, snapping the ball from the opposing 49-yard line and having to punt, that's, a sticky situation to be in because pretty much any punt either has to be a bad punt or it's going to be a touchback. So Nebraska eats the delay of game there, and now they've got themselves a little bit more breathing room. A.J. Henning back deep to receive on the 15-yard line. He's going to come up and fair catch this one at the 28. So Cade McNamara and the Michigan offense has 1:41 left to work. They're up 6-0 right now in the first half. And they've got some pretty decent field position with ball on the 24 when we come back from this media timeout. McNamara currently 8 for 14 for 113 yards, 57% completion percentage. Gonna have to look to air it out a bit here with most of the field left to cover. He's alone in the backfield on first down. Dropping back, intended for Dalen Baldwin. Ball skips into the Michigan sideline.
The clock should not be an issue for these Wolverines. I mean, they got 1:34. They're starting at their own 24-yard line. They got all 3 timeouts right now. So the clock should not be an issue for the Wolverines. And, Jake Moody does have a leg. He can definitely kick it if they can get it into Nebraska territory.
Shoemaker and Baldwin tight on McNamara's left side. He's alone in the backfield. 3 receivers split out wide to his right. Dropping back, and he hits Blake Corum over the middle of the field, and he's got room to run. Spins out of 2 tackles. Breaks another one, and he's got a first down. Clock will stop after the gain of 11.
Yeah, the initial point of contact right there on Blake Corum, he was stopped well short of the first down to gain, but spins away from his tackle, as you mentioned, gets all the way out to the Michigan 42 as they snap it quickly. Cade McNamara throws it out to, it looks like A.J. Henning, or Cornelius Johnson right there.
It'll be 2nd and 6 as Michigan calls their first timeout of the half.
As we head to a timeout right here, we'll look around the college landscape. How about Alabama and Texas A&M? Texas A&M up by 10 right now, leading 17-7 over Alabama with 7:15 left in the second quarter. That'd be an interesting one.
Texas A&M quarterback Zach Calzada having himself one heck of a first half. 7 minutes to play left in the second quarter, and he's 10 for 10 with 123 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's one way to beat Alabama. That's the only way when you think about it. But
Michigan comes out of the timeout, and they've got some pretty good field position. Ball's on the 41-yard line, 1:13 left in the clock. Cade McNamara alone in the backfield with a 6-point lead. McNamara gets the snap, drops back, hits Corum over the middle again, breaks 1 tackle, and he'll get up to about the first down marker. We're going to wait for the call, and it is going to be a fresh set of downs, so the clock will stop for a minute.
Yeah, the tackle made right there definitely gave him a little bit more of a momentum to get that first down.
Corum now steps up into the backfield. He's going to catch it over the middle again. Nebraska just leaving the middle of the field wide open. Corum is going to get tackled in bounds, though. So after the gain of 6, Michigan's going to have to call a timeout to stop the clock. Ball over the 50-yard line now. It'll be 2nd and 4 when we resume play.
Regardless if Michigan is getting those short passes, Nebraska will give you that all day. It's the short 5-6-yard pass because they are defending those deep options so well right now. They're not giving Cade McNamara anything, so they'll let you dump it out to Blake Corum under the flat.
Both quarterbacks extremely efficient right now. Michigan averaging 13 yards per completion. Nebraska averaging 18.8, just short of 19 yards per completion.
It's going to be an old-fashioned dogfight. Got two really historic teams. Both teams really needing a win to kind of, for different reasons, obviously, but nonetheless.
6-0 lead. Under a minute left to play in the first half. McNamara gets a snap as he's alone in the backfield. Throws to the sidelines to Dalen Baldwin, and he's got a first down, a gain of 4, and gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Clock stops. Michigan's now in Nebraska territory at their 41. You got 48 seconds left. You still got one timeout left. Another first down. You're definitely in Jake Moody territory, but they are going for the end zone right now. I'd like to see them go deep on this play right here. You know, you got Cornelius Johnson on the near side by us being defended one-on-one. They're giving him a lot of space, so look at Cornelius Johnson right here.
McNamara dropping back to pass again. Scanning the field, rolling out to his right, and throws it away.
Smart play by Cade McNamara right there. Pressure was coming. All the wide receivers were covered, and just get it out of throw it out, stop the clock. Don't do anything risky right there. It'll be 2nd and 10.
No gain after the incompletion. The Michigan offense looking towards their sideline, getting the calls.
Yeah, Newsome, the guy on Cornelius Johnson right now. You got Cornelius Johnson and Sanders still right on the near side to us. Those are the two guys that I think could make the most noise right now.
McNamara empty in the backfield again. He's rolling out to his left-hand side. Looking, scanning the field, throws complete. Or rather, it's going to skip off the ground into the hands of Quentin Johnson. It'll be 3rd and 10 now. So after moving the ball consistently down the field, the offense comes to a little bit of a standstill on 2 straight possessions. Passes fall incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10 as the 87,380 fans get loud here.
Well, now what you got to figure out is, does Michigan try to run the ball right here? Because you do not want to give the ball back to Nebraska, and you're not in Jake Moody territory.
3rd and 10, they're going to hand it up to Blake Corum. He's got a hole, makes one man miss, makes another, down inside the 20-yard line.
How about that? You know, we mentioned okay, you got 35 seconds left on the clock. Do you want to run it? What does Blake Corum do? He says, all right, I'll take this gap, and he just makes his defender miss and gets all the way down to the Nebraska 15-yard line.
Bunch set to the right. McNamara wasting no time to get the snap off, looking towards the end zone, and that one's out of bounds, incomplete.
I didn't really like that play right there. There were no wide open receivers on that last possession. You had 3 wide receivers to the right of McNamara, all defended, and he has no other choice than to throw it out of bounds and stop the clock. You got 20 seconds left. Ball's on the 15. You're in Jake Moody territory for field goal. You got 20 seconds. I hand it off back to Blake Corum. He was obviously successful on the last possession right there, getting through that gap and getting Michigan into the red zone.
6-0 lead still. Play clock ticks under 10. McNamara, play action. Looking, scanning the field, steps up in the pocket and throws it to the end zone.
Yep.
And we're going to have a flag. This one most likely holding on the defense. A.J. Henning was on this near sideline and went up, but JoJo Doman.
Yeah, JoJo Doman was all over A.J. Henning right there. A.J. Henning literally just stopped and was like, can I make a play? Because he was holding him there, gave him no opportunity.
It is going to be that pass interference call. Great job by Cade McNamara for recognizing that and throwing it that direction to draw attention to the penalty. So it'll be after the play.
It's going to be moved all the way up to the Nebraska 3-yard line. And you got 13 seconds left right here. Fresh set of downs.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 3, as you said, Amer. Michigan still has 1 timeout. Nebraska 2 timeouts of their own.
You're looking at least 2, if they're in the air, 2 chances to throw it into the end zone. Otherwise, you're bringing Jake Moody out.
Both teams have packed the box. McNamara in the gun, Corum alongside him, and we're going to have a whistle blown, and Nebraska's going to call timeout. They didn't like the look that they saw.
Yeah, Scott Frost was on his horse running all the way down that sideline right there to get the timeout.
Flashback to that previous Michigan possession. They were down here inside the 5-yard line, and pretty much anything that could go wrong for the Wolverines went wrong for the Wolverines. Hassan Haskins punches it into the end zone. Referees come together, decide to review the play, mark him down at the 1-yard line. Michigan comes up again. Very next play, they hand it off to Haskins again. He goes over the top, scores. They review it. Caden McNamara is down as he's handing it off. That brings the ball back to the 4-yard line. And for a 4th and goal from the 4, Michigan has to settle for a field goal. Back in that same territory now. It's first down on the 3-yard line.
During that whole timeout, Scott Frost was letting the referees know that he did not agree with that holding call right there on the previous possession.
3 seconds left in the play clock. McNamara's got to get the snap off. He barely does. Hand off to Haskins, punching his way in. Touchdown, Michigan.
Hassan Haskins, no flags, nothing to review. He's in for a clear. Michigan touchdown.
First time Michigan's made their way into the end zone today. Lead's going to extend 12-0. Michigan first team into double digits today with Jake Moody's leg looking to match his number and make it 13.
With everything that happened in this long second quarter, we still got 9 seconds left, but with Moody to attempt the extra point right here to be going into the locker room up by 13, Jim Harbaugh will take it.
Moody taking his time, setting himself up. As the 87,000 people here in Memorial Stadium try to rattle him, Jake Moody knocks it home, extending the lead. The Wolverines now up 13-0 over the Nebraska Cornhuskers here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
And how about that last possession right there to get the Wolverines into the end zone? Blake Corum right there. It was 3rd and long, and we're both looking at each other. You got about 30 seconds left. What do? If you throw it in the air again, you're giving Nebraska the ball back. You're stopping the clock. If you don't get the first down, they got 2 timeouts. Nebraska can come right back down and put it in the end zone. Great call by Josh Gaddis and Jim Harbaugh to give it to Blake Corum to run it up through the gap into the red zone and to set up Hassan Haskins to finish it and put it in the end zone and give the Wolverines a 13-0 lead over Nebraska.
At one point earlier in this first half, Nebraska had all the momentum. Michigan's offense couldn't move the ball at all. They were under 100 total yards. Nebraska hovering around that 115 mark. Now, with 9 seconds left to play, Michigan is leading by 100 yards, 224 to Nebraska's 129. Number 13, Jake Moody, set to kick off with a 13-point lead. With 9 seconds left, this one well out of the back of the end zone. So Nebraska with 2 timeouts. We'll have to do something a little tricky here to be able to get the ball all the way down 75 yards and into the end zone.
Expect them to knee it right here and head into the end zone, or into the locker room. But we've seen a lot of stuff this quarter, so nothing's guaranteed. But it looks like they're going to give it at least one shot. One Hail Mary.
Realistically, with 2 timeouts, you get a couple plays and they're just going to run it up the middle, and we're going to have a whistle on the field. Timeout, Michigan.
Yep. Jim Harbaugh wants to get his guys back. Make sure that they're all on the same page. You brought up a great point. Nebraska has 2 timeouts. Right there, they were going to run the ball, so it's almost like I just expected them to run out the clock right there, because if Ramir Johnson's bringing the ball up the gap right there, you're going to take off at least 7 seconds before he gets knocked down. And then do you really want to take a timeout? Maybe, maybe not. But nonetheless, Michigan calls a timeout. Make sure everybody's on the same page, because last week there was a lot of confusion that led to a Wisconsin touchdown heading into the locker room.
Very smart of Coach Harbaugh, just to better be safe than to be sorry. Using that timeout, allowing his team to get time to get settled, because the worst thing Michigan could do right now is let up a 75-yard touchdown with 9 seconds left with a timeout in their back pocket because they were disorganized and didn't know what the heck was going on. Martinez in the shotgun with 9 seconds left, and he's going to hand it up to Johnson. And he's going to be wrapped up by a group of Michigan Wolverines, and that's going to take us to the half. So as we head into halftime, Michigan finally able to punch it into the end zone. The score sits 13-0. The Wolverines up by double digits, but this game could be much worse than it is.
As the Wolverines head to the tunnel, a loud set of boos just come out, and a bunch of Wolverines are just throwing their hands up in the air. They are feasting off of this crowd right now with the boos. They feel like they left a lot out on the field right now. To head into the locker room up by 13 is great. But another bigger thing is they kept Nebraska off the scoreboard. They did their job to keep Nebraska off the scoreboard. Both defenses had a fantastic showing right there. But like we mentioned before, the key to this game is which team is going to make the least amount of mistakes is going to be the team that wins this game. And so far, Nebraska has one turnover. Adrian Martinez throwing the pick to Dax Hill, but Michigan only getting 3 points out of that. It's only a 2-score game. Nebraska gets the ball to start out the second half. They can easily, we say easily, but come down the field and make it a one-possession game. What we saw last weekend, Michigan came out of the locker room. Hopefully Harbaugh gives them the exact same speech and gets these guys going. But 13-0 for these Michigan Wolverines. They're up to 225 total yards of offense to Nebraska's 133. Cade McNamara, 13 for 23 through the air. Adrian Martinez really not thrown it too much. 5 of 11 through the air for 97 yards. But Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum, the Thunder and Lightning duo for these Wolverines coming up huge right there. It'll be a fun second half as we're going to step away for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, again, we'd like to thank you for listening to first half coverage of Michigan football live here from Memorial Stadium. Again, we'll see you in 15 minutes. My name has been Charlie Brigham, alongside me, Amer Bektas, and we'll be back here for the second half.
Hello and welcome back to Lincoln, Nebraska, where the Michigan Wolverines are up 13-0 over Nebraska. My name is Amer, Bektas, and I am joined by Charlie Brigham. Charlie, let's take a look back at that first half, and what are some things that you saw on both sides for this team?
Well, I mean, the Michigan defense, we have impressed us all year long, and that has not changed here today in Lincoln. They've held the Cornhuskers to 0 first-half points, and I mean, in situations they really bailed out the offense. The Michigan offense, for a huge part of this first half, was unable to produce, but the defense just battled and battled and battled and kept getting them positions and putting them in very good positions to score. Flashback to that Dax Hill interception that led to Michigan kicking a field goal after the Nebraska defense on the other end, which I'll bring up very shortly, put on an impressive showing of their own. Both teams have just been punching each other in the face. It has been a hard-fought game, and I'm excited for second half action coming up very shortly here.
The sun has set. Fans are coming back into their stands. We mentioned it in the first half. It's a sea of red. It's 70 degrees now. Slight wind from the north. Amer Johnson is the deep back. Jake Moody is going to kick it off deep. And the Wolverines are up 13-0 to start the second half. Not as much energy as it was to kick off the first half. This place was electric. Fireworks were going off everywhere as Jake Moody sends it up and through the end zone. Amer Johnson's not even going to try it. And Nebraska will start out at the 25.
Aiden Hutchinson and that Michigan defense coming back out there. I mean, you can't, when you talk about Michigan defense, you can't talk about Aiden Hutchinson enough. Coming up in this year's upcoming draft, most likely, barring some crazy circumstances, Aiden Hutchinson is going in the top 5, if not the top 3, if not number 1 overall. I mean, the kid has looked like the best player in the country.
So junior Adrian Martinez from Fresno, California is going to come into this game. He's going to have a back to his right, multiple claps, sends Toure into motion, pulls it out, and he's going to go deep, and it's going to be deflected. And Michigan, first play of the from scrimmage is deflected, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
I mean, that's that front 7 making a difference early. You know, Aiden Hutchinson putting pressure on the outside on the left tackle, Turner Cochran, and just forcing a bad pass going right into the hands of Christopher Hinton, putting pressure on. I mean, this Michigan front 7 is the key to their team.
Empty backfield for Martinez, 3 wide receivers to his left. He's going to drop back in this pocket. He's going to go right. He finds Amer Johnson, and Amer Johnson is going to get the first down right there.
Nice tackle there by Junior Colson coming over from that nickel spot to make the tackle right on the sidelines. But as you said, enough for a first down.
The ball is moved up now to the Nebraska 35. Back to Martinez's left. You got 3 wide receivers under. He's going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson goes right up the middle, and he's going to be tackled by multiple Michigan Wolverines. Looks like it was Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajabo on the tackle.
Junior Colson again coming up from that safety spot and filling that hole. Colson was the first to initiate contact, and like you said, Ajabo and Hutchinson able to turn right around right there and make a nice play.
So 2nd and 8, ball at the Michigan 37. Toure in motion. Martinez is going to drop back. He's going to fling it out to Toure, and he's met right in the backfield by Vincent Gray, and they are going to lose yardage on that one.
Great tackle there from Vincent Gray. You see a lot of guys come up in a situation like that where the receiver's kind of helpless and go for that big hit, just lower the shoulder and just try to use your own force to take the guy down. Vincent Gray, not what he did there. Goes down low, wraps up the legs, and doesn't allow the receiver to gain anything.
So the Cornhuskers are now behind the chains, 3rd and 11. You got 2 wide receiver to the top, 3 under.
Michigan packing the box here.
Play clock at 7. Martinez drops back in the pocket. Multiple pressure. He's going to break it up through the middle. He's going to go up the middle. He's going to get the first down and across into Michigan territory where he goes out on his own at the 46-yard line.
We mentioned throughout the beginning of this game that Adrian Martinez is a dual-threat quarterback, but we haven't really seen him use his legs for an offensive purpose. Usually every time we've seen him use his athleticism has been a defensive kind of way, where he's running away from guys like Aiden Hutchinson, trying to extend plays to get a pass off. That time, sees a gap, tucks it and runs. Great first down run.
Martinez is going to hand it off to Johnson, but pulls it back out, and he has a wide open man, and it's going to be a Nebraska touchdown to start off this half.
Great play call there. I mean, Michigan was not ready for that one at all. Good play action pass from Adrian Martinez, and delivers just a nice floater over the middle to Austin Allen. Michigan had no idea.
Austin Allen right there. You mentioned the play action play right there. Martinez pulls it out, and there is nobody on Austin Allen right there, the tight end, into the end zone to score on the opening possession for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, as we see multiple balloons just sailing for the skies.
Yeah, as the first touchdown scores, Nebraska fans let loose their balloons. And I mean, just another incredible piece of this atmosphere. What a drive by Nebraska. I mean, coming out in the half, Michigan had all the momentum going into halftime. There were multiple situations where the Nebraska defense held strong and played really, really well, but the Michigan offense was still able to put points up on the board. Specifically, those few possessions down near the goal line, where even though they were able to stop Michigan from getting in the end zone, Jake Moody was still able to kick field goals. Then Michigan scores that touchdown near the end, and that kind of takes the wind out of Nebraska's sails. But they won the opening coin toss, defer to the second half. They come out first possession and just pound it down. Great big plays by Adrian Martinez, using his legs to extend plays, and then, as we just saw, touchdown. The touchdown pass to Austin Allen.
Yeah, Austin Allen, the tight end for the Cornhuskers, the junior from Aurora, Nebraska. You know, we mentioned it. You know, Nebraska, they gave up the touchdown to Michigan to close out that half. We didn't know where the momentum was. This is a whole new game right now. Michigan's only up by 6. It's 7-13 Michigan. They're going to get the first possession of the half right now. It's going to be a huge possession for the Michigan Wolverines. Can they run it down the throats of the Nebraska and put points up on the board? If they go 3 and out, all the momentum shifts over to the Nebraska sideline.
I mean, I would argue that Nebraska has all the momentum as it is now. You know, the fans are completely on their side, obviously, here in Memorial Stadium. And they just scored to open up the second half. It's going to be very interesting to see what Michigan does here. I agree that Michigan has to go down and put points up on the board, or else this game could completely switch tides. Quick quarterback comparison for you. Cade McNamara, currently 13 of 23 for 148 yards, 57% completion percentage. Over on the side of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, Adrian Martinez, 8 for 15, 146 yards, very similar stats there. But Martinez has 1 touchdown, an interception, and has completed over 50% of his passes.
Yeah, you know, Michigan, this is the first really dual-threat quarterback that they have faced off with this season, and right there they get burned on it. You know, you got the run play action right there, and then you just the simple 10-yard throw to Allen, and he does the rest.
Yeah, I mean, that was just busted coverage. Michigan packed the box, and Nebraska recognized that. Very good play call. Just dump it over the middle, little tight end pop pass, and Allen able to take it all the way to the house. It'll be Blake Corum back deep to receive, as Nebraska set to kick it away for only the second time today.
Yeah, the opening kick, and now this one. But Michigan keeps their streak of not trailing in a game so far.
Yeah, Michigan fans at home knocking on wood right now.
So 12:49 left in the third quarter. Michigan up 13-7. Corum is the man back deep, and the ball is up and away, and it's going to go over Corum's head, and Michigan will start out their first possession of this game at their own 25-yard line.
If you're Michigan, you just got to keep your foot on the gas here. I mean, Cade McNamara has looked very good. As I said, he's 13 for 23, 148 yards. but there have been 2 or 3 plays this game where he's looked for Dalen Baldwin down the sideline, and he's had him. But the defender, cornerback Cam Taylor-Britt, number 5 for this Cornhuskers team, has just made incredible plays, doing a great job using his athleticism, opening up his hips to cover a lot of ground and break passes up. But if those 2 passes are completed, we're having a completely different conversation about the game and about Cade McNamara right now.
McNamara got the ball, hands it off to Hassan Haskins, and he's going to get maybe 2 yards on that possession right there. It is met by multiple Cornhuskers on the play right there, and it's going to be tackled by Newsom.
Haskins comes off. Blake Corum comes in to fill his spot.
McNamara is going to be in an empty pocket. You got 3 wide receivers to his left, 2 underneath. Play clock at 15. McNamara gets the ball, drops back in the pocket, looks right, looks left. He's got a tight end right there underneath, and it's going to be Hungerford. Correction, Luke Schoonmaker on that one. But it's going to be a 3rd down for the Wolverines right now. Ball is going to be at the Michigan 37-yard line.
Great job by McNamara sitting in the pocket there and not being afraid to take the hit. Deliver the ball quickly because he got blasted from his blind side.
Definitely did take a hit right there. Corum is the back. McNamara gets the ball, drops back, multiple pressure comes through. He's just going to dump it off to Blake Corum, and Blake Corum's going to be tackled short of the first down to gain, and it's going to be Taylor-Britt again on the tackle right there. We've mentioned his name a few times tonight.
Arguably the best player on this Nebraska team, especially this defense, comes from all the way across the field. That one, a screen pass heading towards the Nebraska sideline. Cam Taylor-Britt comes all the way from the opposite corner position to make that play in the flats and keep Michigan short of that first down marker.
So Brad Robbins comes out to punt it away, and it's going to be Oliver Martin sitting at his own 20-yard line. 5 left on the play clock, gets the ball, and it's going to be up and away, and it looks like it's going to be a good, deep punt. As Martin runs away from it, Michigan is going to be there, and they're going to pin the Cornhuskers at their own 10-yard line right there to start out.
And it looks like it's job by German Green covering a ton of ground to pick up that ball before it started bouncing back the other way. So another great punt from Brad Dobbins, and the Nebraska Cornhuskers is going to go back to work. Ball going to start on the 10-yard line.
Well, we mentioned it just to start the second half. Would these Nebraska fans come back to life? And I mean, right there, when you score on your opening possession, you hold Michigan to punt it. The fans are alive and well. So 10 left on the play clock. Martinez gets the ball. He's going to break out to the right. Hutchinson's there, but he dumps it away to Toure, and Toure is going to get the first down and more. Makes it all the way out to the Nebraska 14. Sumor Toure, the senior from Portland, Oregon, 6'3", 190, gets the Cornhusker first down.
Toure, one of the top receivers on this Nebraska team. That's his first target of the game. His first catch as well, good enough for a first down.
Martinez gets the ball. He's going to hand it off to Ramir Johnson. Ramir Johnson up and through the gap, gets all the way out to the 37-yard line. Nebraska slowly building some momentum right there, moving the ball forward.
Great job by the Nebraska left tackle, forming a hole, letting his running back have a lane to run through. Michigan subs out 4, throws 4 more fresh sets of legs in. Donovan Jeter, the veteran among that group, checking in.
So it's going to be second down, 2 yards to go for Nebraska. 9:46 left on the game clock. Martinez gets the ball. It's a little confusion with Johnson right there, but nonetheless, Johnson goes up, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage right there, and it's going to be a 3rd down and short for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Martinez turns the wrong way on the handoff, and as you said, running back runs right into him. Yant Martinez, miscommunication between them, and that could be the difference maker. There was a hole, but Michigan plugged it quickly, and the miscommunication didn't allow for time to fill that hole. Ramir Johnson checks back in for Yant.
So you got Amer Johnson at the back. You got 2 wide receivers, each on one side of Martinez. 3 left on the play clock. Martinez quickly gets the ball. He's going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson can go up, and he's stopped. If anything, he loses yardage right there. And it's going to be Jenkins on the tackle right there. So it's going to be 4th down, 4th and 1 to go. The offense is slowly going off, but Scott Frost decides to punt the ball away. Smart call right there. He knows what's at stake for this game.
And especially with a good punter like William Pristup, we've seen him have great success throughout this game. Punting from from where he's situated, looks like he's back at the 18-yard line. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go to the opposite 18-yard line.
So A.J. Henning is going to signal the fair catch, and he loses it right there, and he muffs the punt. There's a mad scrum at the 10-yard line. No signal yet from who has the ball.
Henning couldn't decide whether or not he wanted to let that one bounce towards the end zone. And we have a call. It's going to be Nebraska ball inside the 10-yard line. Referee's still around it. One referee signaled towards Nebraska, trying to make a final call.
Yeah, they're going all the way to the bottom of this dog pile.
And it is going to stay Michigan ball. Michigan avoids disaster. A.J. Henning, since coming into that punt return position, has looked really good for the Wolverines team. There couldn't make up his mind whether he wanted to let the ball bounce towards the end zone and risk a coffin corner or try to catch it for the fair catch. In the end, just made the wrong decision and got caught between it and forced the fumble.
Yeah, he really could not decide right there, but you know, Marquel Dismuke right there was on. It was between him and A.J. Henning right there, but Michigan Wolverine dodges a huge bullet right there. If you give Nebraska the ball yikes.
Yeah, the Michigan offense really fortunate there. If you're Michigan, you have to capitalize on this now. You've been given a second chance. You have to go down the field and put points on the board. Especially after Nebraska scored on their opening possession. Your lead is now only 6. The score 13-7 with 10:45 left to play here in the third quarter. Both teams in their respective huddles. So in a few moments, see Cade McNamara and the Michigan offense come back out.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of J.J. McCarthy for a couple plays in there, and could we see him again? What do you expect to see, Charlie?
Trying to think like Jim Harbaugh right now. I don't see any instance where they put J.J. McCarthy in for more than 2 plays at a time. Cade McNamara's looked good throughout this game. I mean, he's completing 60% of his passes. He's 15 for 25, over 150 yards through the air, sitting at 155. I mean, Michigan has looked good, and they've had chances to capitalize on that even more. You know, if there was any player in the country out there on the corner besides for Cam Taylor-Britt, Cade McNamara has over 200 yards passing right now.
I could not have said it better myself. He made more than two huge plays, but absolutely coming up huge, stopping 2 potential scoring tries for Michigan.
As we have the announcement over the loudspeakers, Nebraska, this is their 379th consecutive game selling out Memorial Stadium. That's incredibly impressive. They show the attendance up there. We've mentioned it before. Give it again for those of you just tuning in. 87,380 fans in this stadium. And I mean, I don't think there's a doubt in anyone's mind that number rings true. Every seat in this place is packed.
And if anything, it feels like there's even more people in here with how loud this place has gotten. I've taken my headset off multiple times just to listen how loud it is up here. If it's that loud up here, just imagine how loud it is for this Michigan offense and Cade McNamara down low. So we got 8:07 left in the third quarter. Michigan up 13-7. They're going to start on their own 9-yard line. It's going to be Cade McNamara and Hassan Haskins to his right. You're going to have Cornelius Johnson one-on-one on the top. McNamara's going to receive the ball, face the handoff. He drops back in the pocket, looks deep, and it's going to be deflected at the line of scrimmage. Pass intended for Mike Sanderstill.
Great play there by the Nebraska defense. McNamara tried to step up in the pocket and deliver sort of a sidearm throw to hit his man in the flats, but Ty Robinson right there gets the left arm on it and bats it down. It'll be 2nd and 10 here.
17 left on the play clock. Hassan Haskins is going to be the back. McNamara drops back in the pocket, looks left, looks right. He's going to throw it out to Cornelius Johnson. He gets it. He's going to break away from his tackle and just cannot stay in bounds. It looks like they're going to mark him out at the 32-yard line or 37-yard line for a Michigan first down. But we have a down player, Wisconsin player at the 5-yard line.
Garrett Nelson down back by the goal line, as you said. The sophomore from Scoots Bluff, Nebraska.
Looking through this, Nebraska, they recruit very well in state. There's quite a few players from their own backyard.
It's the second Nebraska player we've seen in this game go down for a considerable amount of time. The training staff right out there just trying to make sure that he's okay. Nelson sitting up now as head coach walks on over. Scott Frost in his 4th year just trying to make sure his player is okay. Nelson's up and now jogging off the field under his own power. That's great to see. Pumping up the crowd with his left arm, kind of keeping that right arm gingerly tucked to his side. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. He's staying on the sidelines. He isn't quite heading to the tent yet. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Michigan offense. Ball currently sitting on the 31-yard line. Looking down at the field right now, it's Cade McNamara in the huddle with the Michigan offense. Right on the sideline, though, is J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy, Andrew Anthony, and a few of the younger players on this Michigan team. We've mentioned it a few times throughout the season. Just the culture within this program and within this team is at an all-time high, or at least high as it's ever been during Jim Harbaugh's era. The camaraderie and just sheer amount of friendship on this team. It's an incredible thing to watch, and you can see it translate into the way they play. When somebody makes a big play, their teammates are right there on them to pick them up. And I think, personally, it's led to a huge part of this success because everyone is bought into the scheme, everyone's bought into the program, and when each person is playing for the team and not just themselves, that can always lead to great things.
Yeah, I couldn't say it any better than myself. You hit the nail right on the head there, Charlie. Jim Harbaugh took a lot of heat for overhauling his staff this offseason, bringing in younger talent, and it's paying off right now. This, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You have a whole new coaching staff with Mike McDonald coming in there, first-year head coach coming in and doing the job. Harbaugh taking one of his brother's coordinators from Baltimore. So we see a lot of Baltimore Ravens handprints on this team. But you can look at this Michigan coaching staff. Everybody except Sean New is a first-year head coach on this defensive side of the ball, and it's working out good. And then you can also look on the offense with Mike Hart and what he's done with this running back room. It's just a special thing. But we will return back to play action. Michigan's going to start at their own 31-yard line. Blake Corum's going to be the back behind Cade McNamara. You're going to have 2 wide receivers to the left of McNamara. As the crowd starts to get some noise going, signals a wide receiver in motion. He's going to hand it off to Corum. Corum's going to get all the way out to the 35-yard line, and he's taken down by Taylor Cambritt.
Nice gain of 4 there. Be 2nd and 6 to the Michigan team when they get back going. Blake Corum continues to just rack up his stats. 6 carries for 44 yards, averaging 7.3 yards a carry. He's been very effective in his limited run here.
McNamara receives the ball. He's going to hand it off to Donovan Edwards. Donovan Edwards goes right up the middle, and he's going to get about 3 yards on that one, all the way out to the 39-yard line.
First play we've seen Donovan Edwards check in the backfield. We've seen him a few times out of a sort of slot receiver formation. It's 3rd and 2.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 as the stadium starts to erupt with energy right here. Just a huge play. Michigan McNamara looks a little confused on the side, or looking for signals from the sideline right now. Hassan Haskins is going to be the back. You're going to have 3 wide receivers to the right. Eric all in motion. McNamara receives the ball, hands it up to Hassan. Hassan's going to go up the middle, and Haskins, with that second push, is going to get a Michigan first down all the way out to the Michigan 47-yard line.
Again, that 1-2 punch of the Michigan running backs, that is a situation where you're going to see Hassan Haskins 10 times out of 10. Packed box, you need just a few yards, you're going to put him in there and just let him pound it up the gut. Haskins will stay in. He's to the left side of Cade McNamara, 3 receivers wide.
13 left on the play clock. McNamara drops back in the pocket. He's going to look deep. He's going to be pressured, but it gets the ball away to Baldwin. Baldwin's going to make a move, and he's going to be pushed out at the 45-yard line. High pressure coming in to McNamara right there. Taylor Britt once again making his pressure known with a few other Cornhuskers right there, almost on the sack of Cade McNamara.
Yeah, Chris Walker as well, coming off that left edge, just exposing the right side of this Michigan line. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, 2nd and 7, ball on the 45. 2 wide receivers to the right of McNamara, 1 to the left. Hassan Haskins behind him. He's going to hand it off to Hassan. He's going to go up the middle, and he's going to push his way all the way out to the 50-yard line. With an extra push from that Michigan offensive line, it's going to be really close to a first down.
We have the signal from the referee that is going to be enough to move the chain, so it'll be first down. Michigan just marching their way down the field.
Hassan Haskins definitely needed that extra push to get that first down because he was stopped well short as Hassan Haskins heads to the sidelines, and Blake Corum is going to check into the game.
13-7 is still the score. The Wolverines up by 6. It's still a 1-possession ball game for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
5 minutes left in this half. Play clock at 7 seconds. 5 seconds now. 3. McNamara gets the ball. He's going to look left. He's going to find Baldwin. Baldwin breaks away from his player, and he's going to be taken out right at that first down marker. And they're going to get that first down.
Dalen Baldwin has been a big, deep threat for this Michigan team. Most of the longer passing attempts have been towards him, but you can't forget that he's still a very quick receiver, and he's still super shifty. He's really effective in that short game.
Yeah, Joel Hungerford now into this game at tight end. Michigan now with 2 backs in the backfield. Baldwin and Cornelius Johnson to the right of McNamara. Play clock at 10. It's going to be first down, ball at the 39-yard line. McNamara drops back. He's going to look deep. He's got Baldwin, and Baldwin's going to get it into the 10, and he's going to be taken down at the 5-yard line by Cam Taylor Britt.
A little bit of a delayed action there. Michigan, as you said, had 2 backs in the backfield. Blake Corum was behind Cade McNamara. McNamara sent him in motion out into the flats, turned, faked the screen pass, and the defense bit hard. Dalen Baldwin able to streak up the middle, finds an open space, and a great play there for a gain of 35. And now Michigan inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Michigan inside the red zone for the first time in this half. Hassan Haskins is the back to the right. Eric all in motion. McNamara gets the ball. He's going to hand it off to Hassan Haskins. He's going to go up the middle, and that's going to be a Michigan touchdown. Hassan Haskins for the Michigan touchdown.
After Nebraska comes out on their first drive and puts it in the end zone, Michigan answers right back. I mean, That was just a dominant performance by the Michigan Wolverines on that drive. They just slowly but surely marched their way all the way down the field. McNamara sets them up, gets them into the red zone with that 35-yard completion to Dalen Baldwin, and then Hassan Haskins doing what he does best, running the ball up the middle, inside the tackles, and into the end zone for Michigan's second touchdown of the day.
Almost it felt like he was too easy for Hassan Haskins right there, almost untouched into the end zone. Michigan's going to go for 2 to make this a 2-score game. Hassan Haskins is the back. You're going to have 3 wide receivers to the left, Cornelius Johnson on the right, 13 left on the game clock. McNamara gets the ball. It's going to be to Cornelius in the corner, and Cornelius off his fingertips. 2-point conversion is no good. It's going to be Michigan 19-7 with 3:36 left in the quarter.
Johnson might have got held a little bit there, but it was inside that kind of gray area where contact is allowed. That ball just passed his fingertips. But even after they're not able to convert on the 2-point conversion, Michigan still out in front. 19-7 is the score, and this Michigan Wolverines team has taken some of the momentum back.
You know, Hassan Haskins punching it in right there was huge, and it almost feels like it was deflating, like it took a lot of energy outside of the stadium.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're down 12-0 at halftime. Nebraska gets the ball after deferring to the second half. Gets the ball on the first possession. They go down the field, score easily. Adrian Martinez scrambles for a big run and then hits his man Allen wide open over the middle, and the tight end just skips into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Michigan comes right back and pounds it down your throat, goes all the way down the field for a 10-play, 91-yard drive.
Jake Moody is going to kick it away deep. Amer Johnson is going to be the one back there, signals the fair catch, and the Nebraska will start out at their own 25 with 3:36 left in the third quarter.
Michigan defense going to try to come back out there and redeem themselves after giving up that touchdown to open up the second half. Forced a punt from Nebraska. Michigan did end up muffing that punt. A.J. Henning couldn't decide between a fair catch and letting it roll. That's how they ended up with the ball on their own 9-yard line. But the offense following through and marching all the way down.
Really huge call that went into Michigan's favor. But Martinez gets the ball right here. He's going to look wide. He's going to throw it out to Johnson, and Johnson cannot. Or they're going to give it to him. Amer Johnson comes up with the pass, and he makes it all the way out to the 29-yard line for a 3-yard gain.
I thought it was pretty clearly a reception, but Johnson just kind of got tripped up over his own feet and fell backwards. It didn't really take much effort from the Michigan defense to take him down there.
So Johnson goes into motion. Dax Hill blitzes. Martinez breaks away from the tackle. He's got blockers. He's going to get the first down, and it's going to be Nakai Hill-Green on the tackle right there to force Adrian Martinez out at the Nebraska 36-yard line.
The receiver, Toure, should be credited with everything that happened on that play. Sure, Adrian Martinez uses his legs, but Toure put a perfect block on the edge to give him the room to come through. I mean, as you said, Dax Hill came through untouched. Adrian Martinez did a nice job stepping up, but the block from Toure really got that play going.
Martinez gets the ball. He's fakes the handoff to Johnson. He's going to pitch it out to Toure. Toure's got blockers, and he makes it all the way into the Michigan territory before he is forced out of bounds at the Michigan 48-yard line.
After being pretty much non-existent in that first half, Toure is coming out and making an impact for the Huskers here in the second. Not wasting any time. Settling into the gun is Martinez. 3 receivers out to his left side.
You got 2:18 left in the third quarter. Michigan up 19-7. Nebraska with a fresh set of downs at the Michigan 48. Johnson is the back. Martinez gets the ball. He's going to hand it off to Johnson. Goes up the middle, and before he gets tackled by Aiden Hutchinson, who just leaps for Amer Johnson right there. Really athletic play right there by Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, it's something that Aiden Hutchinson does better than anyone in the country. When he applies pressure and guys still get by him, he does a great job of releasing contact with his offensive lineman, opening up his hips, and chasing his man down to make that play.
Ball now at the Martinez gets the ball. He's going to roll out to his left. He's going to pressure comes, and he's going to throw it out to Amer Johnson. Amer Johnson is there, and he makes the catch, and Michigan cannot make a tackle, and it's a Nebraska touchdown. Amer Johnson right there.
Beautifully delivered ball from Adrian Martinez. Blown coverage on the outside. Johnson had all the room in the world, and Nebraska punches right back. The score now 19-13.
Yeah, Amer Johnson rolling out to his left, Adrian Martinez rolling out to his left right there. It's back hand, stepping back, throws it out to Amer Johnson, and Amer Johnson does the rest and gives Nebraska a touchdown, and they will look to extend it with the extra point right here. Extra point is up, and it is good. And the score here in Lincoln is Michigan 19, Nebraska 14.
Yeah, Nebraska showing us that they are not out of the fight. They are coming right back with vengeance against this Wolverines team.
A 41-yard touchdown pass right there. The drive started at Nebraska's own 25-yard line, so they march it for 5 plays, 75 yards, taking 2 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock. Don't count out Nebraska just yet, folks.
Yeah, Nebraska was never really out of this game. I mean, we saw the momentum can shift like that. They scored on that opening play, or that opening possession, rather, and now they've scored another touchdown. They've definitely made some halftime adjustments, and they're trying to show everyone in this stadium, all 87,000 fans, that, hey, don't go home yet. We've got a show to put on.
So William Prishtop is going to send it away deep to Blake Corum. Blake Corum is going to bring it out. He's going to make it all the way out to the 15. He's got a hole. He breaks out to the side. He makes it all the way to the Michigan 20-yard line. Blake Corum.
Chris Kolarvik coming across the field, making that tackle. Ball will be spotted at the 20-yard line, so McNamara and the Michigan offense will go to work. They've got 80 yards to go to put it in the end zone again.
Correction. J.J. McCarthy checks into the game right now. So J.J. McCarthy is in at quarterback. Blake Corum is the back to his left. 2 wide receivers to the left of J.J. McCarthy. And this stadium is loud right now, folks. J.J. gets the ball. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to throw it out wide, and he cannot come up with the throw. And throws on point, but Dalen Baldwin cannot come down with the ball. And it's going to be 2nd and 10 as Cade McNamara comes back into this game.
Michigan's lucky that ball didn't get intercepted. McCarthy hit Baldwin right in the numbers, but he got wrapped up right away, and the ball popped up into the air.
So ball at the Michigan 20. McNamara in an empty pocket. 3 wide receivers to his right, 1 to the top. 10 seconds left on the play clock. McNamara receives the ball. Drops back. He's going to look for Baldwin. Baldwin cannot come up with the throw or with the catch right there once again, and it's going to be 3rd and long for the Michigan Wolverines.
That's back-to-back drops from Dalen Baldwin. McNamara is still in the game. Luke Schoonmaker checks out along with Dalen Baldwin. A.J. Henning and Donovan Edwards both check in. They've got 4 receivers wide, empty backfield.
12 left on the play clock. Offense looking over to the sideline for some information. So McNamara by himself in the pocket. 2 left on the play clock. McNamara gets the ball. He looks deep. He looks for Eric All, and it's intercepted. Right by Nebraska comes up with the interception pass intended for Eric All. Quinton Newsome comes away with the interception right there. First interception of the season for Cade McNamara, and Nebraska is in Michigan territory right now.
Cade McNamara just threw that ball directly to the defender. I mean, that ball wasn't anywhere near a Michigan receiver.
The safety, Deontay Williams, comes away with the interception right there. And Nebraska will take over at the Michigan 18-yard line in the red zone. 59 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Michigan up by 5.
That one, the first real turnover of the season for the Wolverines. We saw one last week, but it came from Alan Bowman through an interception in garbage time against the Badgers.
Martinez with the ball, flings it out wide to his tight end, and he's got daylight. 10-5, touchdown Nebraska, and Nebraska takes the lead for the first time in this game.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers have came out of the locker room and put their foot on the gas. They've been all gas, no brakes here in the second half. Coming out of the locker room, they were down 12-0. Michigan, the only one to score in the first half. Since then, they haven't stopped. 19-14 the score now.
As Nebraska takes the lead for the first time in this game.
This is now the first time all season that Michigan's trailed.
Nebraska will attempt the 2-point conversion to extend this to a 3-point lead. Martinez with Johnson in motion. Now empty backfield. Martinez is going to look right for Johnson. Hutchinson applies the pressure. Martinez is going to go in, and he gets in for the 2-point conversion. And Nebraska now leads 22-19 over Michigan with 52 seconds left in the third quarter.
Nebraska has came out and just been incredible in the second half. This Cornhuskers team looks completely different than the team we saw in the first half. 22 points in the third quarter alone. And now they have the lead, 22-19 in favor of the Huskers. Michigan has some things to figure out here.
Well, we had the question of where's the momentum. I think we are well aware of where the momentum is right now. Nebraska right there after the turnover, a 13-yard touchdown, only one play. One play to score the touchdown.
It is electric here in Memorial Stadium. Nebraska set to kick it away here with 52 seconds left in the third quarter. It's Blake Corum back deep to receive.
Well, fourth quarter is going to be interesting here as the kickoff is away, and Blake Corum's going to let that one sail over into the end zone. Got some extracurricular activities at the 30-yard line. Folks, we got a ball game here in Lincoln, Nebraska right now as Nebraska takes the lead for the first time in this season. Michigan is trailing for the first time in the season as well, 22-19, 52 seconds left in the third quarter.
Cade McNamara is back out there at quarterback. However, J.J. McCarthy standing right by Coach Harbaugh on the sidelines.
So this is the first time Michigan has faced adversity all season long. They're going to start at the 25. Cade McNamara with Blake Corum right behind him in the I formation. McNamara receives the ball. He's going to hand it up to Corum. Corum's going to go out to the outside, back into the middle, and he's going to be taken down at the Michigan 31-yard line.
Shifty little run there by Blake Corum, turning what looked like nothing into a decent gain. It's going to be 2nd and 3 after the 7-yard run.
Yeah, 2nd and 3. They are going to have to get one more play off as we got 30 seconds left on the play clock, about a 2-second difference. So this could be the last play of the half. Ball at the Michigan 32-yard line. 2nd down for the Wolverines. Corum is the back. Baldwin in motion, hands it off to Corum. Corum stutters and then makes it out to the 35-yard line for a Michigan first down, and that's how we will start the fourth quarter.
Clock just going to run out here, so after the media timeout following the conclusion of this quarter, Michigan's going to have a fresh set of downs. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line.
From a reputable source, Daniel Thompson, he says that there's something cool that happens in between the third and fourth quarter. And if Nebraska does not have enough momentum right now and energy, it's about to get real loud in here.
It's about to get really loud in here, but how about Nebraska coming out and just putting the foot on the gas? 22 points in the third quarter to make this game go from entirely in favor of the Wolverines to now on their side.
Yeah, we mentioned it already. Wolverines for the first time are trailing this season. We wanted a test. We really wanted a test for this Wolverines. How good are the Michigan Wolverines? Well, we're about to find out.
As the lights go out in the stadium, and fireworks start going off. This atmosphere is incredible. One of the best I've ever seen.
We'll take a second to let you guys listen to what the atmosphere is like.
I mean, you don't get much cooler than that. You really don't.
You talk about Camp Randall's atmosphere last year. This is a little bit more electric today. But Michigan trying to do exactly what they did last week when they played jump around in Camp Randall. They were jumping up around the sideline. They saw the Nebraska Cornhuskers living it up with this, jumping around. Michigan said, all right, we can do the same. It's got me excited for the fourth quarter. We got 15 minutes left on the play clock, or on the game clock. Nebraska with the 3-point lead for the first time in this game. Michigan down, trailing for the first time all season long.
Yeah, this Wolverines team looks vulnerable for the first time I've seen in the 2021 season.
You know what the best way is to knock a crowd out of the game? Put points on the board. And that's exactly what Josh Gaddis and Jim Harbaugh want to do right now when Michigan gets back to the game. It'll be a first down for the Michigan Wolverines, a fresh set of downs, and they're going to start out at their own 35-yard line.
You know, those few possessions that Michigan was unable to punt the ball in the end zone and had to settle for field goals. We said at the time, are these the possessions that are going to come back to haunt Michigan in the end? And the way this game is shaking up right now, those possessions might be the key.
So it's going to be Cade McNamara is going to be the quarterback. This atmosphere is absolutely electric. Blake Corum is going to be the back. 15 minutes. What do you got? How bad do you want it? You're going to have two wide receivers to the left of Cade McNamara, two tight ends to the right. McNamara gets the ball. He's going to hand it off to Corum. Corum up the middle, and he's going to get maybe 2 yards on that one. He's taken down at the Michigan 37-yard line. Ben Stille on the tackle right there.
Michigan makes a quick substitution. Eric All checks in at tight end. They're going to split out Cornelius Johnson on the far side. He's matched up one-on-one against Cam Taylor-Britt. The matchup that you want to exploit right now, Dalen Baldwin against Quentin Newsome, alone now on this near sideline, one-on-one coverage.
Cade McNamara in the shotgun, but Michigan's going to call a timeout. Jim Harbaugh did not like what he saw right there.
The atmosphere making a difference here in Lincoln.
This is a huge, huge possession for the Wolverines right now. Absolutely huge.
$14:22 left to play. If you're just tuning in, the Nebraska Cornhuskers are up in this one. Michigan trailing for the first time this season. The score 22-19 in favor of the Huskers. Michigan was up 12-0 coming into the second half. Nebraska scored on their opening possession. Michigan came back, scored on a possession of their own, a 91-yard drive to put one in the end zone. It looks like the Wolverines were just picking right back up where they left off. But since then, Nebraska fought right back, and they can't stop scoring. They're in the lead.
So coming out of the timeout, Michigan's going to switch it up just a little bit, but they're going to stay in the shotgun. Blake Corum's going to be the back. 8 seconds left on the play clock. I don't know if McNamara sees it. Play clock down to 3, 2. McNamara gets the ball, drops back in the pocket. He's going to look deep. He has a wide receiver down deep. It looks like it's Baldwin, and it's just going to sail right over Dalen Baldwin. McNamara just sails that one over. Dalen Baldwin was able to break away from his defender, but McNamara could not hit Baldwin on the numbers.
There was some mutual contact between Dalen Baldwin and Cam Taylor-Britt. Nothing to call a flag on, and it was not intentional either side, but the contact was enough to slow down Dalen Baldwin enough where that ball, had there not been contact, might have fallen right into his arms.
So it's going to be 3rd down for the Michigan Wolverines. Ball at the 37-yard line. McNamara in an empty pocket. 3 wide receivers to his left, 1 to the top. 2 left on the play clock. McNamara drops back in the pocket, looks around. He's going to find Eric Hall, and Eric Hall is going to get the first down. He's going to make it all the way into Nebraska territory at the Nebraska 49. A fresh set of downs for the Michigan Wolverines. Could not have come at a better time.
Huge 14-yard gain there. Michigan wasted no time going no huddle here.
Michigan does not want to give the crowd any more chances to get back into this game. As Hassan Haskins checks back in, McNamara. 2 wide receivers to the left of McNamara. McNamara drops back into the pocket.
Got a free
He's
play
got time.
Here.
Free play. He's looking for Baldwin, and it's Baldwin, and it's going to be picked off again in the end zone.
That one is most likely coming back. I mean, at least from up here, Nebraska pretty clearly jumped off sides. Good recognition by Cade McNamara to realize that he had a free play to take a shot.
Yeah, JoJo Dowman coming down with the interception in the end zone, but it's going to be a false start on the Nebraska defense, and the free play for Michigan, and they'll take another free 5 yards to make it 1st down and 5.
You hear a few boos from the crowd, but very quiet, because I'm pretty sure everyone in the stadium saw Nebraska jump off sides there. But again, as we said, great job by Cade McNamara recognizing that and trying to take advantage of it. He threw it to Dalen Baldwin, who was triple covered.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was at the goal line. If he comes down with that, that's a touchdown. Worst case scenario is you just do the play again. 1st and 5.
McNamara with the ball, hands it off to Hassan Haskins, and he's going to break out to the right, and he's going to make it all the way to the 41-yard line to make it 2nd down and 3. Nelson on the tackle right there.
Michigan looking to the sidelines, getting their play call here. They've got 2 receivers on this near side. If you're Michigan, you have potential to get a quick one over on Nebraska.
Yeah, we haven't said Cornelius Johnson's name in quite some time as they hand it off to Hassan Haskins, and he's going to get all the way to the needed yards to get the 1st down.
We've seen this same defensive lineup from the Huskers a few times during this game. When Michigan has 2 receivers split out to this near side, they only put somebody on Cornelius Johnson on the outside. Whether it's been Cam Taylor-Britt or Tyreek Johnson, whether or not it's just one-on-one. Quentin Newsom a few times as well. But Michigan has a man in the slot most times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10, it's been Mike Sandra still. And he's been wide open in that position.
They're daring them to throw. But 1st down for the Wolverines, ball at the 39. Blake Corum is the back. 2 wide receivers to the left of McNamara. McNamara receives the ball. He's going to fake the handoff to Corum. He's going to throw it out to Sanderstill. Sanderstill breaks away from the tackle, and he gets all the way out to the 35-yard line. So a gain of 4 yards for Sanderstill right there.
Michigan finally goes to that wide receiver screen, but the one time they throw it is when he's covered. Cade McNamara checking out of the game. J.J. McCarthy checking in now.
Yeah, J.J. McCarthy definitely the faster of the 2 quarterbacks, giving the Wolverines a little bit more of an option. Ball at the 35, Corum the back, J.J. McCarthy in. He's going to fake the handoff, and J.J. McCarthy's going to take it by himself, breaks away to the outside, and gets taken down at the 29-yard line by Taylor-Britt.
That one's going to be real close, and they're going to motion. That's going to be enough for a 1st down. That's the 2nd time we've seen McCarthy come in today and run for a 1st down.
Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people say it's if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. Right there, Harbaugh knows exactly which quarterback to go to in which situations as Cade McNamara gets back into this game. Now Michigan at the Nebraska 29-yard line. Blake Corum is the back. 2 wide receivers to the right of McNamara, 2 on the left. McNamara gets the ball, gets the handoff to Blake Corum. Blake Corum's got blockers. He has a seam. Blake Corum at the 5, at the 10. Touchdown, Michigan.
Great back-to-back play calls there. Michigan goes with the quarterback designed run with J.J. McCarthy. He picks up a first down, and then going back to your speed back, getting that outside edge. This near side, the left side, or right side rather, of the Nebraska defense, Quentin Newsom is a lot weaker than Cam Taylor-Britt is in the open field. Hand it off to Blake Corum, let him go to work. Michigan puts up more points on the board, and they're back out in front.
Blake Corum, the back right there for Michigan to score a 29-yard touchdown. If you look back at that play, number 44, Garrett Nelson, had a great opportunity to make the tackle, but Blake Corum was just too fast to get away as Jake Moody hits the extra point, and Michigan is now back up 26-22 with 11:21 left in the fourth quarter. Looking back at that drive right there, just a fantastic drive by the Michigan Wolverines. They started on their own 25-yard line. 10 plays, 75 yards, capped off by a 29-yard touchdown by Blake Corum, taking 4 minutes and 31 seconds off the clock. Now they give the ball back to the Nebraska Cornhuskers, who had a fantastic third quarter right there, scoring 22 points.
Going back to that third quarter, Nebraska did put up 22 points, but Michigan also scored a touchdown of their own. Aside from that interception from Cade McNamara, this Michigan offense is still producing at a pretty consistent rate, the same rate pretty much that they have been this whole game. Back out in front now, back in a comfortable position. Nebraska still knocking on the door, only down 4. It's a one-possession game, 11:21 left on the clock. Michigan's going to have to keep their foot on the gas.
Yeah, looking at the stats and the game comparisons right now, Nebraska getting back into the total yards of offense. They're up to 319 yards. Michigan up to 394. Both teams actually doing all their damage through the air. Michigan with 243 yards to Nebraska's 218. But the difference, the X factor so far, is the quarterback play by Nebraska's Adrian Martinez. He's up to 218 yards now, completing 63% of his passes for 3 touchdowns. The main and only reason why Nebraska is in this game right now.
Yeah, Nebraska has come to play in this second half. 11:21 left on the clock is so much time. Anything could happen. Anything could go any way.
But Michigan did exactly what they were supposed to do. They took the ball, started at their own 25, marched the field down 75 yards. Blake Corum caps it off with a 29-yard touchdown. Now they give it back to Michigan's probably most proficient team out there, the defense. The defense has been absolutely electric, and we're still waiting for Aiden Hutchinson to get that sack. Could it come on this possession right here?
Well, Adrian Martinez has done a great job of not letting that happen. Aiden Hutchinson's been in the backfield in pretty much every passing play that Nebraska's tried to run. But Adrian Martinez done a great job using his legs. We've said it time and time again. He's a very athletic, dual-threat quarterback, great at escaping sacks and extending plays. Looking at the total yardage stacking up, Michigan 151 rushing yards to Nebraska's 100, 243 passing yards to Nebraska's 218, 394 total yards to Nebraska's 319. You look at the stat sheet, it feels like Michigan should be ahead by more than 4 points in this game, but like we said, that monster third quarter from the Huskers got themselves right back in and gave themselves a fighting chance.
22 points, as you mentioned, that monster third quarter. Adrian Martinez coming up huge, but we got 11:21 left in the fourth quarter. Michigan now up by 4. They were down for a few minutes there the first time of the season, but Jake Moody looks to kick it away deep, and it's going to sail into the end zone. Johnson's not even going to try, and Adrian Martinez and these Cornhuskers are going to start at their own 25-yard line. We've said that before. But before we start, as we have a quick little break, we can look around some scores that are catching our attention. Alabama at the end of the third quarter are down 31-24 to Texas A&M. Charlie, you got anything more on that?
I mean, Texas A&M, obviously we're not watching that game right now, but they must have really come to play. They're 3-2 coming into this matchup. Alabama is the best team in the country right now. Number 1 ranked overall, 5-0, but Texas A&M putting points up on the board.
So Martinez receives the ball. He's going to take it by himself, flicks it out to the side, and it's loose, and it's fumbled, and does Vincent Gray have it? No,
it is going to be recovered by the Cornhuskers. It was a nice offensive play there, but Vincent Gray comes up, makes the nice tackle. Xavier Betts able to recover his own fumble, though. Vincent Gray put a hit on him, though.
So the ball is going to be at the Nebraska 24-yard line. They lose a yard, but they maintain possession of the ball. 14 left on the play clock. Martinez gets the ball. He's going to fake the handoff to Martinez. He's going to look deep, but Aiden Hutchinson's right there, causing multiple havoc. Martinez is breaking away from the pocket. He gets it away, and it's almost intercepted, but the Nebraska player catches it, and they're in Michigan territory. Everything was going in Michigan's favor right there. Aiden Hutchinson with all the pressure right there, and then the Michigan cornerbacks are able to pick it off, but it comes through, and Nebraska gets a fresh set of downs, and they are in Michigan territory.
We've said it multiple times. Adrian Martinez is most dangerous when he's able to extend plays with his legs. That ball hits Jamon Green in the chest, but bounces to Oliver Martin, and they got enough for a first down and plenty more.
So here comes Toure, but he is met behind the line of scrimmage by Dax Till, who just wraps him up and waits for support to come as Josh Ross joins him on the tackle.
And a great play by Dax Hill there, coming up and just finishing it.
So 9:50 left in the quarter. Nebraska in Michigan territory now at the 48-yard line. Martinez in the pocket with Johnson to his left. 12 seconds left on the play clock. A little bit of confusion by the Cornhuskers. Now as Johnson goes behind Martinez, 4 left on the game clock, hands it off to Johnson, who breaks up through the middle, and he's in the territory. He's at the Michigan 25, bouncing away from tackles before Dax Hill comes in and puts him down on the ground at the Michigan 25-yard line.
Another big play from Nebraska. They just won't go away. Michigan has to be frustrated here. They've come out in the second half, and they just haven't stopped moving.
So first down for Nebraska in the Michigan territory now. Johnson is the back, and he's going to fake it. Pressure comes. They go across the middle, and it's caught, and it's another fresh set of downs for Nebraska.
That one completed to Austin Allen, the receiver on the receiving end of that first touchdown we saw that got this Nebraska rally going.
Nebraska trying to get the tempo up going, no huddle right there, but they're going to wait for a second and look over to the sideline as they are now knocking on the doorstep. 18 left on the play clock. Martinez gets the ball. He's going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson breaks up the middle for 3 yards. Ramir Johnson for the 3-yard carry, tackled by Mozzie Smith.
We saw a few possessions like this back in the Rutgers game in Ann Arbor, where Rutgers drove their way down the field, got inside the red zone, and then Michigan's defense really ramped it up and just tightened that bend, not break mentality. And that's what Michigan's got to do right here if they want to keep this ball game in their favor.
Michigan would love nothing else than to keep Nebraska out of the end zone right now as we approach the 8-minute mark left in the fourth quarter. Martinez in the pocket is going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson up the middle, makes it all the way to the Michigan 5-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd down and 4 yards to go. Mozzie Smith on the tackle once again, a 2-yard gain for Johnson.
Important thing to mention, we mentioned it was a one-possession ball game, but Michigan is up by 4. A field goal from Nebraska would still keep them trailing the Wolverines.
So big play coming up here as we have 7:30 left in the fourth quarter. Nebraska making substitutions as Austin Allen checks back into this game for the Cornhuskers. Michigan also making some changes.
Michigan, a lot of confusion on the front side.
They're going to hand it off, and Martinez keeps it, and Martinez gets into the end zone for a Nebraska touchdown. Adrian Martinez, the dual threat quarterback, he was going to hand it off to Ramir Johnson, pulls it out, calls his own number, and Nebraska is back up on top. Adrian Martinez for the Nebraska touchdown. Lots of confusion on the defensive side of the ball for Michigan, but 6 points is on the board for Nebraska right now.
This extra point will make it a 3-point ball game. Nebraska currently up 28-26 as that one goes through the uprights and up into the stands. Nebraska up by a field goal, 29-26 with 7:08 left to play.
So Nebraska returns the favor, starting at their own 25-yard line, march it down 75 yards for the Nebraska touchdown, capped off by a 5-yard touchdown by Adrian Martinez. Scoring drive, 8 plays, 75 yards, 4 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock, and Michigan will get the ball back with 7:08 left, and they are down by a field goal.
I mean, this second half has been incredible to watch. First half, not the most exciting thing. Both teams went scoreless in the first quarter. Michigan put up 13 points in the second quarter. Nebraska didn't score at all. And then go to that third quarter, 28 total points between the two teams. Nebraska, 22 of those. And now both teams have scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter. It is back and forth.
Now, Michigan gets the ball back. Expect them to try to establish their run game. You know, that's Michigan's identity. They're running backs. They're Lightning and Thunder running backs. So Blake Corum, Hassan Haskins. If they can get that, knock off maybe 5 minutes off the clock, punch it in for a Michigan touchdown, I think Jim Harbaugh would be happy with that, to have his defense out there. And that's how Jim Harbaugh likes to coach his teams wherever he's been. He loves that run game. He loves to take time off the clock. But Michigan is now down by 3. They have not trailed very often this season. Up until this game, they have never trailed in a game this whole season. This is the second time they've trailed. First time they faced adversity was they handled it pretty well by scoring a touchdown. But now this has been a back-and-forth matchup. If Nebraska doesn't have that huge third quarter, Michigan maybe gets away with this one. But we got a good game in Lincoln, Nebraska. Under the lights, a nice 70 degrees fall weather. A little bit humid out there, but you got 87,000 fans in the stands tonight cheering on their Cornhuskers. Few Wolverines out there as well. You can see pockets of maize and blue.
It's going to be an exciting conclusion no matter which way this goes with 7 minutes left. If you're Michigan, I think you got to stick with what's working. Nebraska hasn't been able to cover the pass really well at all. You know, the few pass plays that they have broken up were deep balls down the sideline where you gave guys like Cam Taylor-Britt time to cover a lot of ground and break those plays up. A lot of those, short, quick hitters, 5, 6, 7 yards, quick hitch routes over the middle, crossing routes with tight ends. Those have been the bread and butter for Michigan. That's what has allowed Cade McNamara to throw for 243 yards through 3 quarters.
So before we head back to this one, just looking at some scores around college football, Kentucky leads 42-21 over LSU. Notre Dame's in a battle with Virginia Tech. They're down by 2 as Virginia Tech leads 29-27. Alabama coming back on Texas A&M. They're down 31-27. And then San Diego State taking care of business over New Mexico 17-0. In our game here, Michigan finds themselves down by 3. Nebraska up 29-26. Blake Corum is deep to receive this kickoff. And Blake Corum looks like he's going to bring it out of the end zone. He has a few blockers. Makes it all the way out to the Nebraska 18-yard line. So Michigan will start deep in their own zone once again on this possession.
For a quick second there, it looked like Corum might have had a hole. Also, safety Miles Farmer a little shaken up there on that play, kind of limping off the field. Looks like he's heading over towards the tent. He's taking a quick seat on the bench. So 7:01 left. Michigan's going to start on their own 18-yard line. Cade McNamara is the quarterback. Hassan Haskins out to his right. Wide receiver motions in. It's going to be A.J. Henning. Hands it off to Hassan Haskins. He's going to break it out to the right and get all the way out to the 25-yard line. Time still just ticking away. 6 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Sub-7. If Michigan's able to really stretch this out and take the lead back, that could be really all they need.
So 2 wide receivers to the left of McNamara, 1 to the top of McNamara. Hassan Haskins is the back. 13 left on the game clock. McNamara receives the ball, hands it off to Hassan Haskins. He's got blockers. He's through the middle. Hassan Haskins all the way out to the 50. Leaps over his defender, and Hassan Haskins at the 30 before he gets taken down at the 25-yard line. Hassan Haskins, what a play.
Haskins goes up and over the defender. They're showing the replay on the big screen. Just absolutely showing off his athleticism there. What a play that was.
What a play by Hassan Haskins. Leaping over his defender, getting into Nebraska territory where Michigan will be at the 25-yard line. Corum is the back. You have 3 wide receivers to the left. Eric All motions in. McNamara hands it off to Blake Corum, and he gets taken down at the Nebraska 24-yard line. Woo-hoo!
Huge play. That run from Hassan Haskins, good for 50. Michigan now deep in Nebraska territory. Ball on the 24-yard line, rather.
5:28 left. 19 seconds left on the game clock. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 on the top. Corum is the back. McNamara gets the ball, drops back in the pocket, looks left, pressure comes. He's going to throw it up to Cornelius Johnson, who has to come in, and it's broken up by Deontay Williams right there. Cornelius Johnson, if Deontay Williams is not there to break it up, Michigan is at the 3-yard line.
McNamara pressured heavily there. Great coverage on Johnson. He had to fight through contact, threw his hands up the air, looking for a pass interference call. Doesn't get it.
So Michigan is in field goal territory right now. You do not want to lose yardage on this one. 14 seconds left on the game clock. 2 wide receivers to the left. Blake Corum is the back. 8 seconds left. 7. McNamara gets the ball, drops back in the pocket, and he's going to throw it out to Eric All across the middle, and he breaks away from the tackle, and he's going to get the Michigan first down as he breaks away from multiple more tackles, and before he gets taken down at the Nebraska 12 for a fresh set of Michigan first down.
There's that play call that I mentioned before, that tight end over the middle pass. We saw them have a ton of success in that middle zone. We saw them rep Blake Corum on little routes out of the backfield to just sit right in the middle. That time, they find Eric All, and they've got a first down. Great field position for the Wolverines.
Ball now all the way up to the Nebraska 12. Michigan knocking on the door. Corum is the back. McNamara hands it off to Corum. He's going to go up the middle, met at the line of scrimmage. He might get a yard out of that, all the way up to the Nebraska 9-yard line.
Nice little 3-yard gain there from Blake Corum. He's going to quick check out, and Hassan Haskins checks back into the game. If you're Nebraska, all eyes are on him right now. Haskins, 19 carries for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day.
Yeah, Michigan right now definitely trying to get it into that end zone, but you are in field goal range as we approach that 4-minute mark. It's second down, ball at the Nebraska 9. You have Hassan Haskins the back, wide receiver motions in. McNamara hands it off to Hassan Haskins, and he gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
Coming through untouched was JoJo Doman. All the way across the line, comes from McNamara's right to chase down the ball carrier. It's 3rd and 7. And there's going to be a timeout on the field. Looks like Zach Zinter, the Michigan right guard, a little shaken up, or correction.
Chuck Filiaga, the grad student, 6'6", 337 pounds out of Texas, shaken up a little bit, but he is up on his feet. Huge 3rd down play right here.
The crowd is loud here in Memorial Stadium.
3:40 left in the 4th quarter. Michigan down by 3, but knocking on the door. Ball on the 9. Cade McNamara is the quarterback. Hassan Haskins to his right. You got Cornelius Johnson and Mike Sanders still to the right. Only 2 wide receivers. Baldwin on the left. We're going to have a false start, but who is it going to be on?
Doesn't matter. That's going against Michigan no matter what. I mean, they had 3 players move. The right tackle, Cade McNamara, and the man in motion.
Well, that's a tough one as now Michigan is behind the sticks. You don't...
Yeah, all sorts of miscommunication there. So you hear the call come in. False start on multiple players.
As Jim Harbaugh saying that he tried to signal for a timeout right there, but Michigan has pushed back 5 yards from their original spot. They are now behind the chains. Ball at the 14. You got 3 wide receivers to the right of McNamara, 1 underneath. Hassan Haskins is the back. 7 left on the play clock. McNamara receives the ball, drops back in the pocket. He's going to go to the right, over the top, looking for Baldwin, but Baldwin cannot come with it as he was out of bounds. And now Michigan looking to get that tying field goal right now.
There's another player down on the field. This one, a Nebraska Cornhusker. He's down holding what looks to be his left knee. Can't quite get the number from up here in the booth. If you're just tuning in, Nebraska currently holds a 3-point lead, 29-26 over the number 9 ranked Michigan Wolverines. There's 3:05 left in the clock. And Michigan looking to kick a field goal. Ball on the 14-yard line. It's 4th and 12.
Game-tying field goal as well, to mention that. 3:05 left. Wow. Going back to the first half, this is not what we expected it to be this close down the stretch, but we said, and we'll say it again, whichever team makes the least amount of mistakes will be the team that comes out with a win right now.
What it's looking like right now is whoever has the ball last is going to end up winning this ball game.
That too.
The player is up on his feet. It is Ben Stilley.
Yeah, the senior from Ashland, Texas, 6'5", 290, is up, and he is walking off the field on his own power.
Limping pretty heavily. He's got his helmet off. Hope Stilley is okay, sending the best his way. Both teams in their respective huddles. The referees grouped up as well. When we resume play, it'll be 3:05 left on the clock, and Jake Moody will have a field goal attempt to tie this ball game up.
We've seen it before, Jim Harbaugh be aggressive and they're creative. Is there any chance?
There's no way.
Any chance that they pull a fake right here?
There's no way.
I would have to agree with that.
I think 11 times out of 10 here, Jake Moody kicks this field goal.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that Nebraska's been moving the ball and scoring in the second half, not taking points here is pretty much just putting up the white flag.
Yeah, Michigan's defense has been solid other than that third quarter, but, I'll take my bet with Michigan's defense out there. Aiden Hutchinson, we have not said his name that often. He's applying pressure. He's always there. He has yet to have a sack in this game.
And here we go, both teams breaking their huddles. So Jake Moody with arguably the biggest field goal of his life coming up very shortly.
It's going to be a 24-yard attempt. The ball is going to be on the left hash. 3:05 left in the fourth quarter. Michigan looking to tie this game up at 29. Jake Moody from 24 yards out.
This one not much farther than an extra point, but with all the pressure of the scenario, this one could seem like 60.
Good snap, good hold, kicks up and away, and it is good, and we are all tied up at 29 with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Jake Moody, Money Moody, coming up clutch in the hostile environment. Whew. Charlie, you ready for these last 3 minutes?
With the way Nebraska's been playing, I think everyone in the stadium and everyone watching at home right now has the expectation that Nebraska's going to go down the field and score. The only question there is, will they score with too much time left on the clock? Because Michigan, we've seen throughout this year that if they have, a minute 30, especially since they have 2 timeouts right now, they could have plenty of time to go down the field and score their own. Also, another huge key here, if you're Nebraska, is ball security. You have to make the absolute most out of this possession, and you cannot afford to make any mistakes that give the ball back over to the Wolverines, especially with good field position with such little time left to play.
Nebraska's last 5 possessions, all in the second half, 4 of them, 4 out of 5, have resulted in a touchdown. They only punted once, and that was on their second possession as Moody kicks this one out of the end zone, and Nebraska will start at their own 25.
Jake Moody makes that field goal to tie the game and then comes out and kicks the opening kickoff through the uprights as well. He's locked in.
It's locked in. Michigan's defense, this is what they're made out of. Mike McDonald with Baltimore, they've been in these type of situations. Now, let's see how this is transitioned. Nebraska is starting out at their own 25. 3 minutes left in the game, 15 on the game clock. Amer Johnson is the back to the left of Martinez. Martinez drops back, looks right, looks left. He has a man, and it's going to be caught at the 36-yard line.
Great play there by Vincent Gray on the outside. He brought his man inside, made initial contact, and kept him upright and allowed Dax Hill to come over and have time, and then both of them just started ripping at that football. That's exactly what I was talking about. Ball security is huge right now, and the Michigan defense knows it.
Martinez hands it off to Ramirez. Ramirez up the middle. He's met right there by Michigan's linebacker, Josh Ross. Stopped just short of the line to gain, and it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Johnson with that carry up the middle, and like you said, 3rd and 1. This is a huge play right here. Because 4th down, if you're Nebraska, I would think you have to kick it away because you can't afford to even give the chance of giving the Michigan the ball inside their own territory.
3 wide receivers to the right. Amer Johnson in motion. Martinez keeps it by himself, and he's going to go, and he gets it across for a Nebraska first down. Before he loses it, and Brad Hawkins comes away with the ball. And Brad Hawkins is going to be taken down at the Nebraska 18. Was Adrian Martinez down? There is no signal on the field right now.
That's exactly what was happened moments ago with that play with Vincent Gray and Dax Hill. The defense kept him up, and they allowed their defense to come in and rip at the ball. That's exactly what the defense did just there. Adrian Martinez got enough for the first down, but instead of taking him down, the defense held him up and allowed their team to come in and rip that lawnmower. Little league football coaches around the country right now are cheering. They're jumping up and down in their living rooms because that's something you teach from day one.
Brad Hawkins comes away with the scoop and makes it all the way out to the Nebraska 18-yard line. 1:45 left. We're all tied up at 29.
Now the script has flipped if you're Michigan. There's 1:45 left on the clock. You have to use as much of that as you can because Nebraska has 3 timeouts. Even if you do score, you don't want to leave room for Nebraska to go down and score a winning touchdown drive.
McNamara with the ball, hands it off to Hassan Haskins, and he's going to get all the way out to the 14-yard line before Scott Frost runs down there to use one of his 3 timeouts, calling a timeout at 1:39. Whew, how the script has flipped. And we said it, and we said it again. Whoever has the least amount of turnovers will be the team that wins this game. Michigan forces the turnover right there. All the momentum in Nebraska's favor. They force the turnover. Hawkins comes up with the fumble, and now Michigan is in the red zone. All tied up at 29.
Defensive coordinator Mike McDonald has to be grinning from ear to ear right now. Like I said, that's something Pee-wee football coaches around the country teach. You go into JV and varsity in high school, that's something you teach. Even in the NFL and college, that's something you preach. If your guy is up, get your guys in there. Don't take him to the ground, but rip at that football. Ball, as we said it before, ball security is the most important thing in a tight, close game like this, especially with under 2 minutes left to play.
Ball security is huge, and it all starts out with those fundamentals, and that's exactly what Mike McDonald has preached day in and day out to this Michigan defense since the first day he stepped on campus, and Michigan comes up with a huge turnover. Now can they capitalize is the big question.
Showed up there on the big screen is the injured defender Ben Stilley from the Cornhuskers, who had to be helped off the field, but he's back up on his own 2 feet and standing on that sideline. If he needs to go, he's ready.
Nebraska fans trying to get back into this one, being that 12th man for the Cornhuskers. Fantastic atmosphere, fantastic crowd. Hats off to them. But Michigan right now knocking on the door, 1:39 left as we are waiting to come back from this media timeout.
As you hear some Huskers power chants coming from the stadium. You know, local time here in Lincoln, Nebraska is past 10 o'clock. It's currently 10:10, but 87,000 people have not moved from their seats, and they're still locked into this football game.
It's been a fantastic game. Tied up at 29 apiece. Couldn't ask for anything better. But looking at this, Nebraska has 2 timeouts remaining. Michigan with 2 timeouts of their own. Ball on the 14. Second down and 6 to go for the Michigan Wolverines.
Stilley back out there on the field. Both teams have to just be teeming with adrenaline right now.
Right now, if I'm trying to see what Jim Harbaugh is thinking, I think it's just run, make Nebraska burn all their timeouts, and leave no time on the clock. Send Jake Moody out there to send Michigan home with a walk-off field goal. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, if you're Coach Jim Harbaugh or offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis, right after you watch the defense force that turnover, you're looking right at your running backs, at Hassan Haskins and at Blake Corum, and say, hey, 2 hands on the football.
So Blake Corum is the back. 2 wide receivers split out to each side of Cade McNamara as the crowd is getting their voices heard in this game. Waiting from the go-ahead signal from the refs. McNamara in the shotgun. McNamara gets the ball, hands it off to Corum. Corum breaks away from defenders, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage before he's taken down.
And Nebraska is going to call their second timeout. It'll be third and 6, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 when we resume play. Nebraska has 1 timeout. Michigan has 2. This ball game, if you're just tuning in, tied at 29. 1:32 left to play, and Michigan knocking on the door. They're in the red zone, ball on the 14-yard line.
Yeah, Reamer and Luke Reamer on the tackle right there. No gain, so it's going to remain 3rd down and 6. Nebraska has 1 timeout remaining, 1:32 left. Big 3rd down right here. This is the game right here, and J.J. McCarthy is in the game right now. The true freshman is in the game. Hassan Haskins, the back, to his left. Wide receivers split out to the sides. McCarthy gets the ball, pulls out, gets it to Mac, and he gets taken down at the 20-yard line as Scott Frost calls the timeout right there. J.J. McCarthy breaking away. Tackle once again made by Luke Reamer, the sophomore, out of nowhere else but Lincoln, Nebraska. So it's 4th down, 13. That was a loss of 7 yards on that last play. Michigan will send out the field goal unit. Jake Moody looking to give Michigan the lead, but is there too much time on the clock left?
It really depends. Nebraska now has no timeouts left. Remember last possession when I said that field goal attempt was the biggest kick of Jake Moody's life? I think that's going to be replaced by this one right here.
39-yard field goal attempt for Jake Moody. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up, and it is good. Jake Moody with the 39-yard field goal, and Michigan is up by 3 now. 32-29. 124 left in the fourth quarter. Michigan back out on top.
Michigan unable to put it in the end zone there, but they used a lot of clock and forced Nebraska to use all 3 of their timeouts. Nebraska now has no timeouts, and most likely with Jake Moody's leg, I mean, we've seen it all year long. We've talked about it a bunch. He's most likely going to put them at the 25-yard line. So Nebraska's going to have 1 minute and 20 seconds to go 75 yards with no timeouts. If you're Michigan, it's really just about containment and keeping Nebraska in play. Don't let them get out of bounds, and surely don't push them out of bounds. And if you're Nebraska, it's all about ball security again. A turnover here is you lose the game.
That last scoring drive for the Michigan Wolverines. 4 plays, -3 yards, 21 seconds taken off the clock, so plays in the favor of Nebraska. Jake Moody looking to kick it deep. Amer Johnson is the man deep in the zone, and this one's going to sail out of the end zone and through the uprights for another field goal.
Into the stands, too. Great catch by that guy in the front row.
So you got the Michigan fans right down there, and you know what we do in the big house. If the ball goes into the ends or into the stands, we try to send it out of the big house, but not here, not in Nebraska as they send it down. But 124 left in this game. Michigan up by 3. Nebraska is going to start at their own 25-yard line. Their last possession resulted in a fumble by Adrian Martinez. So Martinez is back in the game. You got Amer Johnson, the back.
If you're in Nebraska, you're keying on one guy right now, and that's Aiden Hutchinson.
Martinez back in the pocket, looks deep. He's got a man open, and it's Toure, and he comes down with the ball, and he makes it all the way out to the 50. This Michigan secondary is getting lit up as Nebraska is at the 50-yard line, 1:18 left.
I mean, that's the exact thing that you can't do. That play took 6 seconds. They got 50 yards, and they got out of bounds.
So they will line up in the shotgun again. 3 wide receivers to the left. Toure in motion. Amer Johnson is the back. Martinez gets the ball, drops back in the pocket. Pressure comes. He's going to be flushed out to his right. Aiden Hutchins is right there. Ooh, and that was almost picked off right there. In and out of the hands of Junior Colson.
Yeah, that one just passed the fingertips of Colson. So Michigan able to keep Nebraska from gaining any more yardage. It'll be 2nd and 10, but still only 12 seconds has run off the clock, and Nebraska closing in on field goal range.
So they're going to line up in the shotgun again, similar like the play before. You got 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the top. Amer Johnson is the back. 13 seconds left on the play clock. Martinez clapping his hands for the ball, drops back in the pocket. Dax Hill pressures. Dax Hill right there with the pressure, forcing Adrian Martinez to throw it quickly. Pass intended for Oliver Martin. And it's now going to be 3rd down and 10. What a play call by Mike McDonald to have Dax Hill blitz the quarterback.
High risk, high reward kind of play there for Michigan. 3rd and 10 here.
1:09 left, 20 left on the play clock. Martinez with the ball, drops back in the pocket. Pressure comes. He's going to just throw it out to Amer Johnson. And he is tackled for no gain right there. Jamon Green on the tackle, and it's going to be 4th down and 10 to go. This is the game right here.
More importantly, he's tackled inbounds.
Clock is running. We're under a minute now. Martinez drops back in the pocket, and here comes the play. It's going to be thrown up and over, and Dax Hill right there, and that should do it. There is a flag, but we're about to find out what the flag is for. This one might not be over yet. I would guess it's a sideline warning or something, delay a game. We are about to find out.
If this flag is on the sideline, it wouldn't make a difference as that was on 4th down.
If they call pass interference, that one looks pretty clean.
87,000 people collectively hold their breath, and the flag is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on Michigan. and it will stay Michigan possession. So that should do it for this ball game, barring any unfortunate circumstances for the Wolverines. The flag coming after the play, the celebration. I mean, we've seen in the interviews with defensive coordinator Coach Mike McDonald, he wants guys to celebrate. And in a situation like that, in a dogfight of a game, you make the defensive stop to, more or less win the ball game for you. There are much worse things that could happen.
I think we can all take a deep breath right there. What a game. What a finish right there. We still got 54 seconds left. Michigan's going to start with the ball at their own 35-yard line. The only play call right now you can see is victory formation.
Yeah, Michigan going in shotgun here for victory formation.
Cade McNamara takes the knee right there. They'll probably have to snap it once more as there's a 10-second difference between the game clock and the play clock.
Yeah, Michigan going to let this one run all the way down and then take one final knee. Barring a fumble on the snap, that should do it. It's Haskins to the left of McNamara.
22 seconds left on the clock, and Cade McNamara takes his final knee, and the Michigan Wolverines come into Lincoln, Nebraska, and win a nail-biter down the road. Final score, 32-29. What a game. What a victory for these Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, credit where credit is due. Adrian Martinez and the Nebraska Cornhuskers came out of the half and just decided to punch Michigan in the face. Come out first possession, they score. They put up 29 points in the second half alone, 22 points in the third quarter. The only reason this game is even close is because of the halftime adjustments they made and just the fire that they came out with in the second half. Michigan able to hold on, but what a game that was. Michigan 465 total yards, 255 through the air, 210 on the ground. But what a game.
What a game is exactly right. Nebraska, whatever Scott Frost told them at the halftime speech, it obviously worked. When you score on 4 of your 5 first possessions in the second half, but down the stretch you have the fumble, and then right here they cannot convert on 4th down, and the Michigan Wolverines sneak away with the victory here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Maybe a little bit too close for comfort, but these Wolverines are legit. They are serious. They are 6-0 heading into the bye week next week before they return to the Big House on October 23rd, and they will host the Northwestern Wildcats before hitting the road to Michigan State. What a game. What a night. Fantastic atmosphere.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, Amer. The Wolverines putting on a show. Nebraska not disappointing. Came out in the second half, put up some numbers, and made this game a lot closer than it looked like it was going to be. Final score here from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, 32-29. The Michigan Wolverines come out on top. My name has been Charlie Brigham. Alongside me, Amer Bektas. And we're going to leave you like we always do, folks, with a good night and a Go Blue.